Winston-Salem, North Carolina is a city with a rich history of reinventing itself. Here you can wine and dine back in time, or raise a glass to the future. Witness history in the making, or savor the present moment. That's why you'll love visiting Winston-Salem. Our past is present, our future is bright, and our city is yours to explore. Look forward. Travel back to Winston-Salem.
Welcome back to incredible law offices of John Street stock feature. Let's try to turn it up one more notch. First time tonight, we're going to see the Brad's Golf Cars Modifieds. And as Tim Packman alluded to in the opener, this driver's trying to just stop the bleeding. He wants a little bit of luck on his side. Well, he picked a good night to do it. Has run the fastest qualifying lap so far this season at a 13.141. Burt Myers out of Walnut Cove, North Carolina, will be starting on the pole for tonight's first 25-lap feature, with Lee Jeffries out of Walburg, North Carolina, lining up alongside in car 75. Tim Brown in the 83 will roll off in third spot with Randy Butner, two-time winner on the season, starting on the outside of row 2.
One of our last week's feature winners, the number 4, Jason Myers out of Walnut Cove, North Carolina. Outside him, another feature winner last week, his first of the year, the number 69, John Holloman out of Winston-Salem. The point leader, the 04 of Brandon Ward from Winston-Salem, and outside him, the number 22 of Jonathan Brown.
Daniel Beeson started to get that number 44 dialed in. The Kernersville native is going to roll off inside of row number 5, outside another winner in 2022, car number 51 of Junior Snow. Chris Fleming, after the Hard Luck Award, literally, that he received here earlier from the crash last week, two-time winner in third in points, is going to roll off in 11th spot with one-time winner Zach Brewer driving for the Hillbilly Motorsports team. He'll start 12th.
Out of Newton, Pennsylvania, the 13th position, starting number 37, the Dan Speeney. The number 12 of Dean Ward out of Winston-Salem will start 14th. Danny Probst out of Monroe is in the number 3 car. Jeremy Gerstner will be in the number 55, all the way up from Wesley Chapel, Florida.
17th starting position, familiar name in modified racing in this region. Brian Lofton's going to be driving car number 89 tonight. Outside, the number 99 will be that of William Smith in 18th starting position. Buzzy Beavers will take car number 05 from the inside of row number 10, and starting in 20th spot, car number 14 of Corey Lovett.
And back in the 21st position, the number 88, Ryan Robertson. Outside him, the number 77, Alfred Hill. And rounding out your 23-car field of modified ground-pounding action at Bowman Gray Stadium, the number 6, Greg Butcher.
23 cars, 25 laps. Championship picture starting to come into play. 2 points separating the top 2. In fact, you go a little bit further back, there's only about 8 points separating the top 3. Even with Chris Fleming's misfortune last week and the whole backup car fiasco that took place, talked to Jonathan Brown even about it. He said, you know what, at this point, it's water under the bridge. We're ready to move on. We're excited about our chances, and Fleming is going to have to do the same here. And judging by the interview he gave for his Hard Luck Award that he was given before we went on air tonight, he appears poised and ready. Just got to find a way to stay out of trouble starting in the 11th spot.
And that's exactly the ticket here at Bowman Gray. You want to stay out of trouble because you can get into it with just one little tap.
Lee Jeffries just darted to the pit area. He was supposed to start second, and he has brought that car to the pit lane on the parade and pace lap. So that's a developing story that we'll keep an eye on here. And Tim, as you mentioned, opportunity for the two drivers who are on incredible winless streaks for what their resume says about this place. And they're both starting inside the top 2 rows as we see the work going on Jeffrey's car.
Well, if the work's going on Jeffrey's car, if he comes back out, I'm asking, does he get his position back, or does he have to start tail?
That is a very good question, and I am not the one who knows that answer. That's going to be one of those wait-and-see things here, as it looks like we're going to get Jeffries back out here.
Okay, we're going to find out here, right?
But we should know very, very shortly as he's going to pull up to the pit exit ramp here. Heads-up move by our crew here at the Madhouse, who were able to catch that shot and see the work being done and get it on our screen so we can see that it was, in fact, a left front tire that they had to swap out on Jeffrey's car. And we'll see if they let him reassume his spot on the outside of the front row. Jeffrey's one of the drivers starting up towards the front. As a matter of fact, 3 of the top 4 of the originally intended lineup have not visited victory lane just yet. And, oh, by the way, 2 of them are Tim Brown and Burt Myers.
With all those multiple championships, you know, even when I talked to Burt Myers earlier, he's like, you know, usually Tim Brown and I, we have a bunch of them by now. We're kind of just like going through the season. Here they both are winless since last year.
Pretty remarkable here, as Jeffries is going to join the tail end of the field, so that should move the outside row up one spot, and that means Randy Butner is going to assume his position on the outside of row number 1.
We've been given the 1 to go. You see the field side by side. The lights are off on the pace vehicle. That means only one thing. That means next time they come by, they're going to mash the gas, make them go fast, fly off in turns 1 and 2, and try to figure out where they can get into position, because you do not want to be caught on the outside in a modified here at Bowman Gray.
Pace car is going to make its way down to safety. Burt Myers and Randy Butner. For the first time tonight, the Brad's Golf Cars Modifieds come off the 4th corner. Time to light the fuse and go green for the Modifieds at the Madhouse.
And they go diving into turn 1. It's Myers with Brown right behind him, hitting the bumper already as they go into 1. Here comes the number 5, though, trying to gain some positions of Randy Butner.
Butner trying to hang tough on the outside. Brown surges forward and makes contact with the left front of Butner, and he keeps it off the wall. Jason Myers to follow suit.
I'll tell you, it looked like Brown gave him a shot, like, get out of my way. I got stuff to do up here. And that guy in front of me is who I'm chasing. Side-by-side action there. Oh, we have a spin. Almost got loose there. That was Holloman, last week's one of our feature winners.
And one of the cars on the move is that of Jonathan Brown. He was the other vehicle involved in last week's circumstance where he was not allowed to earn points after jumping into the backup car. The other item of note is he gets inside of Randy Butner, hip checks his way up into the top 5. They ran 7 laps in practice, and we're happy. That's a dangerous sign for the rest of this field as he cracks the top 5.
So the cars have now settled in. The drivers have settled in their positions. They go single file. Right now, though, it's Myers and Brown out front, running pretty strong here. That's a 25-lap event. We're going to be coming up on lap 5. It'll be 20 to go. As you see, the field right there is still single file. Trying to get Holloman, trying to get some positions back.
Back up to the front of the pack. The 2 drivers we mentioned, this is perfect for TV. Out in front, running 1 and 2. Burt Myers, Tim Brown, 2 of the best to ever do it here at Bowman Gray Stadium, with Jason Myers, as he has all season, lurking, waiting to try to pounce.
I'll tell you what, that lurking in third, as you see, he's about 4 car lengths back. That's kind of might be the perfect place, but he's going to start closing the gap a little bit, and Tim Brown might take another shot here at Burt Myers. They come out of 4.
Tim Brown was working diligently on that race car. He's got actually a couple of other cars that were entered in this race. Jeremy Gerster looks very similar. We also saw a similar car out there of Ryan Robertson, but he himself was one of the last people to tidy up the front end of that car, put the hood cover back on before he knew it was ready to go to battle, and it appears that both of these drivers have come with some pretty sporty hot rods tonight.
Yeah, they are definitely starting to get away from the field a little bit, not that much, but they are running nose to tail, and Tim Brown is letting Myers know, whatever you're going to do, I'm going to be right here if you slip up.
Double box here as we watch Zach Brewer, one of the winners on the season. Interesting story about that team. They actually changed a motor this morning. They came out on the racetrack at morning practice. They hated the way the engine sounded. They thought they had the problem fixed. They swapped the motor out, gave it a shot in second practice, and Brewer's trying to return to winning form, and he's in front of Chris Fleming, who is 3rd in championship points. They're battling for a position at the bottom portion of the top 10, while the leaders are about to hit traffic.
They're coming up on lap traffic as they dive into turn 3 and 4. Got to slow it up there. The lap car is not going to get out of the way. It looks like they might have to go to the outside, and they will. They go around the number 99 of William Smith.
It's going to push Burt Myers up to the top of the racetrack. We've been talking about Burt and Tim. If we are able to see here, just entering our picture, Jason Myers has some company. That's Brandon Ward, the points leader. Those are the 2 that were separated by 2 markers coming into this race tonight. So that's a storyline in itself that's starting to develop, with Jonathan Brown now entering your picture in 5th.
And he's been consistent. Like you said, he hasn't won, but he is the point leader. And that's all you need to do to be consistent here, especially at Bowman Gray. And if you can go through here and just get top 5s, that's it. At the end of the season, you got the points.
All the while, been a relatively calm race so far. Going to be coming around here to 10 laps to go, with Burt Myers doing a masterful job so far, fending off the challenge. As a little bit of a warning shot there from Tim Brown. Both of these guys want it. Only one of them is going to get it, at least in this race. And I think we're about to start seeing the intensity start to pick up the pace a little bit.
And the one thing about these 2, they've been racing each other for so long, right? They know each other's driving. So, and the caution flag flies.
Caution flag is out as the battle for the lead was starting to nod up a little bit. Not seeing anything obvious from our vantage point, but we will keep an eye on the track workers. There is potential there's some debris or something on the racetrack, and it looks as though the cleanup crew is starting to make their way out over to turns 3 and 4. Evidently, there was something there on the surface that they did not like, and they decided to throw the yellow here with 17 laps complete.
Well, got to keep that track surface clean because, you know, these slick tires, they catch something like that, and it can definitely affect your handling, and you don't want it to come down to having some of the turf in there. I'll tell you what, the turf is starting to finally take a little bit because the first couple of weeks, they were kind of tearing that stuff up a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
The sod was down, but it was rolled up and all around.
Yeah, I hope it wasn't like the joke that some of the old infield short track promoters would put out there. You damage my turf, it comes out of your check.
Yeah.
So hopefully these drivers aren't having to deal with that. As we see one to go here at the line from our chief starter and Randy Smith. It's going to be another duel between these two, it looks like here. Laps are clicking off, opportunities starting to draw a little bit thin, and we've got some new players up in that top 5 that were a little bit further off the front two. Now they got a shot at least being within striking distance.
And we saw the battle heating up there for third position between the number 4, Jason Myers, and the 04 of Ward there. So we're going to see they come out in turns 3 and 4. Here they come down for the green flag. Single file style. Here it goes. It waves. And Myers gets the jump to not that far away. And already Brown's hitting him in the back as they come into turn 2.
Could already see the front Nerf bar in Brown's car pointed up, not much, but just a little bit from some of those warning shots he's been given to the back Nerf bar. Burt Myers trying to get the lead. This time, Burt holds the top spot, about a car length separation between Brown and Jason Myers as this battle continues to turn 3.
1, 2, 3, 4 running right there. You can see not much of a separation has taken place at all. That restart enabled them all to get a little closer together as they're going to try to race it out here even more. Myers now seems to be opening up a little bit of distance on Brown.
Burt got off at turn number 2 exceptionally well and was able to gap. Yeah, starting to see that back end on Brown's car slide out a little bit on corner exit. That may be what Burt Myers needs here.
Yeah, a little bit in the apex of the turn. Let's see if he does it here like he did. But he's down just a little bit. He slides up just enough there to keep Myers to keep getting away from him there.
4 laps to go for Burt Myers, and it has been a while. And he will be the first to tell you that even when he's having a strong, consistent season, they come for trophies, and they want the championships to add up in a similar fashion. Brown now in danger of falling back in the clutches of Jason Myers as we're on 3 to go.
With 3 to go, like you said, with 1, 2, 3, not a whole lot. They're not getting that much closer together. The distance between them has stayed pretty much the same. I'm telling you, if I am now leading this at Burt Myers, and I'm thinking I haven't won in 17, 18 races, he said it's been bad luck. Good Lord, please let it stay that way. Good luck for me as we get through here.
Here they come down to the line. It will be the white flag for Burt Myers. Laid down the gauntlet in qualifying with the fastest lap of the season thus far. Now he's going to fend off another one of the greatest to ever do it here at the Madhouse. Final corner off of turn number 4. Welcome back to victory lane. Burt Myers, the winner in the first modified race of the night.
And the crowd is showing their approval and the support for him after he won that race.
Burt will be the first one to say, doesn't matter whether they're cheering or booing, as long as they're making noise, he's happy.
And if he's holding a checkered flag, it doesn't really matter, does it?
This is going to be, use the term loosely, a popular victory. And granted, it's one of those things where at times you get sick of seeing somebody win so much if you're a race fan, but when they have a dry spell like what Burt has had here so far, and like what Tim's going through right now, it feels like something's off. It feels like not everything's right in the world. It's almost like when the Yankees stopped winning for so many years. And now Burt has gotten himself in that race team back in the winner's circle for the first time.
Pretty much a year on the nose. Win number 85, one of the greatest of all time. 10-time Bowman Gray Stadium champion, Burt Myers. If you like it, let him hear it. If you don't, he likes to hear that too. He carries the True Lion Federal Credit Union checkered flag tonight, and we'll get the PDQ, Taste of Victory, those great chicken sandwiches from PDQ. Well, before we celebrate the Carolina Wood Forest Winner's Circle, he has got a little bit of business to take care of that will determine his and potentially up to 15 others' fate tonight. It's the Madhouse Scramble Drawing. Watch the scoreboard. In that little bag held in the hands of NASCAR starter Randy Smith are the numbers 8, 10, 12, 14, and 16. What number will Burt Myers reach in and draw tonight? Watch the scoreboard and we'll find out. Watch the scoreboard. We'll see what he's got. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been pretty much a year in the making. His last victory here at the Madhouse, June 26th of 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, victory number 85 of his Bowman Gray Stadium career, Burt Myers of Walnut Cove. We talked about it in pre-race tonight, Burt. For all the fans watching at home tonight, one of the greatest to ever suit up here at the Madhouse. Like him or not, he's a 10-time champion. That's 85, count them, 85 Bowman Gray Stadium victories. Win number 85 took a little while. Sure, it's a big sigh of relief for you tonight to finally get that one in the books. Congratulations.
You know, I've won at least one race a year since 1998. And you start wondering, you know, I know that I haven't forgot how to drive a race car. And I know these guys haven't forgot how to give me a race car I can drive. But I want to thank these fans. I know it's tough pulling for a guy that doesn't win, but we are back. The way this thing gets through the corner, I can tiptoe down the straightaway just because I'm getting through the corner so good. These guys have not quit on me, my family. This is awesome, buddy.
You had a familiar face in your review mirror tonight. The Rocket Tim Brown back up on the wheel as well. He's racking up them top 5 finishes, marching toward what will be a 12th title. Your little brother got a great shot. Race number 2 coming up. What about that one?
Yeah, we're gonna use this second race to try to get better for the first races. Like I said, we're kind of out of the championship at this point. I just want to take this in for a minute, if you don't mind. This is it's been a long time coming, but I couldn't do it without my sponsors: CitraSafe, Backyard Leisure, Technical Institute, NASCAR, Bubba Speed Shop, Philip Smith, Cleanup Supply, Haviland Express. Like I said, my guys, my family. I know I probably hadn't been the easiest to get along with here lately, but I told my brother, I said, that 83 is going to be the one you got to beat. We're out of it, but you keep digging and you'll get you one.
Go celebrate with Jim O'Neill, Forsyth County District Attorney, our Grand Marshal tonight. We'll celebrate win number 85 of Burt Myers' Bowman Gray Stadium career.
Unbelievable that we were able to see that unfold here just as we thought it would, with Tim Brown hounding the backside of Burt Myers, and it's Myers who ends up with career win number 85. Let's step aside momentarily. We'll be back for more racing action here at Bowman Gray Stadium, live on Flow Racing.
But first, we're going to get this party started with our main event. 100 laps for the McDowell Heating and Air Sportsman Series. Is there anybody over here ready for some sportsman action tonight? Come on, you guys, let me hear you now. I think they're asleep over there. I know the south turn's pumped up tonight. Y'all, let me hear you. You ready to go racing tonight, Madhouse? Come on now. They qualified to set the field. The top 6 had a redraw. Winding up with the pole tonight, the former champion. He has a fast hot rod from King, right in the hunt for another title. The number 12 machine of Justin Tate. He will start on the pole tonight. Your fastest qualifier from Knoxville, getting his first win earlier this year, will start second tonight. How about it for Wesley Thompson in car number 22? Starting third tonight. She has more sportsman victories this season than anybody else. Anybody here rooting for Amber Land of Walkertown? She starts third in car number 2. Rolling off fourth. Disqualified number. He has 6 Bowman Gray victories here in sportsman competition from Thomasville. The number 38, our friend Mitch Gales, will start fourth. The former champion, don't count him out. He is from Walkertown, another winner of the season, starting fifth at cover 81 is Zach Clifton. One of our winners from last Saturday night. He will start 6th tonight. The number 55 machine of Zach Orr. Rolling off 7th from Yadkinville, and that's where he qualified. 20-time Bowman Gray Stadium winner, Michael Adams. Starting 8th. The rookie.
Winston-Salem, North Carolina is a city with a rich history of reinventing itself. Here you can wine and dine back in time, or raise a glass to the future. Witness history in the making, or savor the present moment. That's why you'll love visiting Winston-Salem. Our past is present, our future is bright, and our city is yours to explore. Look forward. Travel back to Winston-Salem.
Still the Tiger, Tommy Neal from Walker.
Back just in time for what is the headliner on the card here tonight, and that is going to be our second Sportsman 100 of the season. After we just saw Burt Myers grab his first win of the year, many drivers are going to be looking to try to do the same for the McDowell Heating and Air Sportsman Series in their second 100-lapper of the year. To kick off the starting lineup, turn it over to Tim Packman, who will lead us through the first portion of our field. We got a lot of heavy hitters starting up towards the front of the pack.
Oh yeah, this is going to be good. 100 laps. You talk about patience being needed. We're going to find out here. On the pole position from King, North Carolina, that's the number 12, the orange and black, Justin Taylor. Out of Wesley Thompson, the number 22 from Mocksville, North Carolina. Second row inside, keep your eye on this driver. From Walkertown, North Carolina, Amber Lynn, looking to go back-to-back in 100-lap events here. For the Sportsman, starting outside her, the number 38 from Thomasville, North Carolina, that is Mitch Gales.
Inside of row number 3, Zach Clifton has a win under his belt already this season and sits 4th in points. The Walkertown native's going to roll off in the 5th spot today. Outside out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, also has a win under his belt so far this season. Car number 55 of Zach Orr. Inside of row number 4, out of Yadkinville, North Carolina, car number 19 trying to find victory lane for the first time this season. What a way to do it in a 100-lapper if he could pull it off. Michael Adams in car number 19 on the outside. Another winner so far this season out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, Chase Robertson.
Starting ninth to the number 5 out of Lexington as well, that is Spencer Martin. To the outside, if you're looking for the number 21 red and white of Tommy Neal, don't. Look for the black 08. Tommy Neal is in a totally different car. They gutted this thing earlier. We were frantically working on the pits earlier. That is your points leader, Tommy Neal. Tommy Neal in the 08 tonight, so keep track of that. Riley Neal in the number 07 in Walkertown, North Carolina, and in the number 92 from Rural Hall, North Carolina, that's Kyle Southern.
Back in the 13th starting spot out of Mount Airy, North Carolina, car 30, Blake Shoup is going to roll off on the inside of row 7. Outside out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina, in the 14th spot, car 8, Casey Kepley Jr. 15th starting position out of Lexington, North Carolina, is Kirk Sheets in car 6. Outside the 16th spot out of Wahlberg, North Carolina, Brandon Mills in car number 54.
Rounding out the field, starting 17th in the 02 from Lexington, that is Terry Thompson. And the final starter of the 18 total starters out of Louisville, North Carolina, the number 7 of Connor Branch.
That is your 18-car starting field set to go for 100 laps. And as Tim already alluded to, Amber Lynn starting inside of row number 2, not only trying to sweep or go back-to-back in the Sportsman 100 lappers this season, Statman gave us this keynote. If Amber Lynn could find victory lane here today, she will break a tie with Susan Kimmel for the all-time wins by a female at the Madhouse. And a win would tie the season record for a female with 4. She's got 3 wins under her belt already. And again, huge props to Justin Mincy, who feeds us this information on a weekly basis. It is unbelievable what he's able to compile. It's been fact-checked. It's been run through all the algorithms you can find, and it's legit. And Amber Lynn's trying to rewrite the record books quite literally here tonight.
We're going to have to get this guy a cape for all the great stuff he feeds us. It makes us look good.
Absolutely.
Because you and I both know we need all the help we can get when it comes to it.
I know Matthew Dillner's not here this weekend. Hopefully everybody watching along is having a great time. He's on assignment. Granted, we're off next week, so Dillner's going to be having a big itch to return to the Madhouse in 2 weeks' time. The racetrack kind of takes off for 4th of July every year. That's why in just a short while we're going to have a bit of a patriotic moment here at the stadium. You're not going to want to miss it. But in 2 weeks' time, it will be a 100-lapper for the Brad's Golf Cars Modifieds, presented by Real Rock 105.7, and double points for all divisions. Wow. If you live in the area and you've got nothing going on July 9th, be here. If you don't, then you have to make sure you're tuning in on Flow Racing to the live action. That is going to be a night that could truly impact the Modified Championship.
And if you do have something going on that night, backspace delete, get it on your calendar, get it in here. Double points brings out the double excitement, I've always said, because you can go from 4th in points. If you have a good run and the point leader doesn't, you can actually capitalize on it.
That's the best example of canceling plans I've ever heard, as we are
Backspace to lead.
one lap away from the green flag. Justin Taylor really starting to find his groove. Wesley Thompson's riding a wave of momentum after getting a win. We already told you about Amber Lynn and all that's on the line for her, and Mitch Gale's looking for what would be a career night if he could find a way to win the Sportsman 100. But there are 18 cars all vying for the same opportunity. We're about to see who will win the second one of these 100-lap racers on this season.
These guys, these drivers put on a great show each and every week, but now there's 100 laps. We're going to see how it's going to go, who's going to be the early leader, who's going to settle in, and who's going to save something for the end.
So here we go. Second time this season. The Sportsman 100 at the Madhouse is green, and we are locked together on the front row in the race for the lead.
And already a little jostling there between third and fourth. Amber Lynn gets in there. She lost a little bit on the start, the initial start. Now she's trying to make it back up as she tries to muscle her way inside the number 38.
Mitch Gale has really tried to shut the door that time going into 3. And Amber Lynn's going to slide her way off the corner, move up into third, double wide seemingly throughout the rest of the pack behind them as the racing continues down the backstretch.
And look at them side by side here on your screen as they come through 3 and 4. I'm telling you, that's going to be going on for a little bit. So these drivers start to find a place where they can race and find their line. But that inside is the preferred way to get around Bowman Gray, as every driver knows.
That's Zach Clifton into the 81, trying to pick up a spot. We'll check in on our leaders here as Justin Taylor comes off the court, puts another lap on the board. The heavy racing further back. The 55 of Zach Gore trying to cement a spot with an outside move. The 5 behind him in the white car, Spencer Martin. And that's Riley Neal starting to move up through the pack just behind as well with the 07.
Amber Lynn's holding really good there in the number 3rd position. Watch and see what happens in front of her. Those guys are not giving up. There's been no gain pretty much where they started the race last few laps ago. No position gaining right there.
And the top 3 continuing to be about evenly spaced here. Amber Lynn is able to hold that car a little bit tighter around turns 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. You see Thompson wash up just a little bit. It's not much. It's not even a quarter of a car length, but it may be the difference that allows Amber Lynn the opportunity to pounce.
And here, just as you said, as they come out of 4, she gets closer. You don't want to have any bobbles. You don't want to hit those turtles and jostling your car, because that, if you do it 3-4 times, who's ever behind you is going to gain on you big time.
Hard to believe the term momentum could be used at a quarter-mile racetrack, but it's true here. It really does matter, and Thompson is kind of struggling to get the power down coming off the corner. Here's the fight. This is for about 6th on back. Michael Adams in the number 19, just behind the 81 of Zach Clifton. He's got some nose damage on that 19 car left of your screen with Zach Gore behind. Then it's the 5 of Spencer Martin, Riley Neal in the mix as well. And as you mentioned, Tim, our points leader, Tommy Neal, in the black 08, kind of ringing up the back end of this group in a different car.
Zach Gore, a winner last week in one of our features here at Bowman Gray Stadium. But you are right, look at Neal in the 08. Totally unfamiliar car to him. Had to change the seat. They had to change all kinds of things so we could fit in there and drive that safely tonight.
Everybody right now minding their manners, but for how long will that happen? Getting a report there may be some smoke trailing from Amber Lynn's car, and there is. You can see it coming out the backside of that car, coming off the corner. Not slowing her down any as she continues to pressure Thompson, but for an extra distance race, that's got to be concerning for her and that team.
Well, it seems to be very, very light right now. If it starts to become more prevalent, we will definitely know. We'll definitely keep an eye on that. But you're right, she's not slowed her speed down one bit whatsoever. Seems to be gaining on the number 22, Wesley Thompson.
Thompson able to fend off the challenge for now. This, of course, one of those races where you got to make sure you're there at the end, so we're not seeing the physicality that would be accustomed to, say, a 25-lap event for the McDowell Heating and Air Sportsman Series. But nevertheless, Amber Lynn's going to want to get going. Not she's getting pressure from behind, but you don't know if Justin Taylor's going to long-run cars. We got a fight here on the bottom portion of the top 10. Riley Neal on the move inside of Spencer Martin.
And as you see Riley Neal take the position, Martin gets hung to the outside. Here comes Neal. Tommy Neal, as he looks to get, he's going to gain on it right there. Look at them hustling through the turns there.
Kyle Southern, another winner on the season so far, moving to the inside. Meanwhile, things starting to tighten up in the front of the pack. Justin Taylor's got company.
Telling you what, the drama's picking up there, and they're getting closer and closer together. You're on lap 15 as you come around this time. You have a long way to go here. When you want to start laying the bumper on, or you just want to ride safe, hoping that you can still have enough at the end to overtake the one in front of you.
We're not even a quarter of the way through this race, and it's already starting to give that feel that it's going to be a powder keg. Just with every lap that goes by, the more intense things are going to get, and the front 3 is starting to be our example. Taylor has led every lap since the drop of the green flag, And at this point, keep in mind, Taylor's got championship aspirations of his own. He came into the night not too far off from Tommy Neal in the championship standings. A win here would do a lot, but Wesley Thompson is knocking.
And there you go as they come down the front straightaway. He gets to the inside. Is it going to be enough? No, he's going to try to shut the door. He's still to the inside. Not enough as they go down. Here they go in the turn number 3, side by side now. The battle for the lead is on.
Thompson lunges his way down to the inside in 3 and will cement the lead out of 4 with Amber Lynn following.
Amber Lynn did the right thing. She said, I'm going to see what happens in front of me. I'm going to follow the low line. And Thompson, she did just that. Now she goes from 3rd to 2nd.
That's going to move Taylor back to 3rd, and they had that brief moment there. It's kind of stacked up the whole field. I mean, this is the bottom portion of the top 10. Riley Neal still on the move. Tommy Neal just behind, 07, 08 respectively. They're both trying to get up to Zach Orr. Kyle Southern bookends the Neal family in your picture with Michael Adams and the 81 of Zach Clifton all battling for spots. That is for 5th on back.
4th, 5th, and 6th have now gotten closer to the leaders with the Zach Orr right there in the 55 right in the middle, trying to hold off whoever he can. And where's Tommy Neal in the 08? Doing exactly what he needs to do, maintaining good track position.
Right now, the leaders are starting to catch the tail end of the pack. It may not be that long before they have to navigate their way through some lap traffic. As you see the top 2, Wesley Thompson and Amber Lynn running 1st and 2nd on the left of your screen. Right side, that battle that continues for 5th on back behind Zach Clifton and company.
Boy, that 1st and 2nd right now, you can just sense that something's going to take place here very soon. Is Amber Lynn going to bide her time, or is she just going to lay the bumper? There she does it right there. Not enough to gain the position or upset Thompson too much as they go into turns 1 and 2.
Lynn that time gets another good roll through the center of turns 1 and 2. Drives way deep on the brakes here to pull up to the backside of the 22 of Thompson. And Taylor now starting to close back in. It seems like any bit of a fight that develops amongst these front runners starts to pack the field back together again quite easily.
I'm telling you, watching the action there, also the action in the middle of the field, they're starting to get some beating and banging going on there as they try to gain their positions. They're like, hey, those 3 leaders are checking out again on us, but we want to get our positions here and get our points as well.
25 laps complete as we got a battle here amongst the Neal family. Riley Neal shoved to the high side. Point leader Tommy Neal in the 08. Got him up off the bottom. Southern trying to follow through on the inside.
As well as Southern trying to follow through the 31 of Chase Robertson. Tries to take advantage of that as well. Looks like he's going to get that position. Now let's see what Tommy Neal does as he gets that position away. And now he opens up some racing distance.
Boy, poor Riley Neal lost 1 spot, 2 spot, 3 spot, about to be 4. Spencer Martin down low. And it looks like Riley Neal is going to have a small space to slot into here, but he lost several positions as a result of that initial pass, while the leaders are now on the same straightaway as the tail end of the field.
Yep, that lap traffic is definitely going to play a factor. We're on lap 28 right now, so we're past the quarterway, not near halfway yet, so lap traffic will be playing a factor here pretty soon. Definitely.
Thompson again able to roll the corner quite well, slips up a little bit there. Off of turn number 4. Lynn tries to draw even, the separation about a car length, and they are catching the tail end of the pack quite quickly. We'll see if that will be a factor in this battle for the lead.
So you got to come up with your strategy here as you start catching the lap cars. Do you think they might go to the outside of them? Do you think the lap cars might move to the outside? We don't know. We're going to find out how they get here in just a little bit.
First car they're going to encounter is car 7, Connor Branch, who had a problem in qualifying earlier today. Here's the battle for 5th place. The 81 of Zach Clifton still ahead of Michael Adams, who still has that minor damage to the front end of that car. Zach Orr and Tommy Neal, in typical Tommy Neal fashion, slowly working his way up the running order.
Tommy Neal might be in a different car, but his talent level and his determination has not changed one bit as he's trying to do everything he can to gain more positions.
Hats off to that team. You mentioned the thrashing they had to do to get that car ready for me, even have a shot to protect the points lead. And your leader, Wesley Thompson, is in heavy traffic. Looks outside, now jacks up the back end of Connor Branch into the first corner.
Connor Branch's like, hey man, I'm just trying to run my race here. What are you doing, dude?
And just as Thompson got up to the outside of that 7 car, the caution flag will fly.
Call 811 before you did. Caution flag is out. Man, we got us a good one here.
Staying on the lead lap for the time being. And this may have something to do potentially with our program here this evening. We will know shortly. while we have a moment here, it's really important to remind some folks who may be watching the races here on Flow Racing for the first time tonight, maybe not able to watch each and every week. We mentioned this being NASCAR's first weekly short track and longest running short track. Well, with that comes a little bit of old school approach, including with that of timing and scoring. And although you can't see it, to Tim and I's left, there are a number of NASCAR officials who hand score these races on a weekly basis. There is no electronic timing and scoring here. So that's why Tim and I have to do our best to try to be able to keep tabs on who's running where. They do have the top 4 listed on the video board here, which we reference quite often, but we don't have anything to go off of electronically. And some may say that that's a little bit antiquated. I say it kind of makes it a little more fun. What about you, Tim?
I think it's old school cool, and I know it's people are so used to it for other tracks having the timing and scoring, but it's just not happening here. They don't have it. And so we're going to do our best, and you guys trying to follow the ticker. There is none, but that definitely is not going to take away from the action that we're going to describe and call for you here from the historic, legendary Bowman Gray Stadium in Winston-Salem.
And everybody on our team does a great job trying to keep fans and viewers abreast as to where we are at in the program. We often throw up lap counters as far as how many we have left to go. And I'm with you, Tim. I think it's kind of an old school approach. It's fun. It's different. You're not glued to a stopwatch on your phone or a ticker on your screen. You have to judge the product based on the racing itself. And I would say that if by the law of averages, it's always pretty darn good here. You don't need all that fancy electronic stuff anyway.
You don't, because you know what? You're still going to get a great show, because these drivers know that they have a huge following here in the stands, and now through Flow Racing, they picked up even more fans, people that tuned it in.
And that's one of the big things about the whole streaming platform as a whole. As you can see by the grandstands around here, we have a solid crowd. Seating capacity, 17,000. I would say we're pretty well there. We're close. There is not that many large gaps throughout the grandstands, and they could add even more standing room options when they pack this place for several of the events that they have. But it's amazing with the crowd that we have here tonight. First time we're going to see the choose cone in play here tonight. This is going to shake up the running order a little bit. And how about this, Tim? Top 2 elect the inside, top 3 even.
Here goes. 4th place is going to go to the outside. 5th place is going to stay to the inside. 6th place is going to stay to the inside. Look at this. You can gain a bunch of positions, and there goes Tommy Neal. Tommy Neal says, the heck with it. I'll go up to 4th. After everything I've been through today, after having to not use my car and get this car ready, why not? What's he have to lose, right?
One of the best things about a choose cone on a racetrack like this, now you've got Tommy Neal, the point leader, behind Mitch Gales, who has not yet won. They both have different handling cars at this point. This is where aggression and desperation starts to take hold as we're ready for a restart. 37 laps in the books for the second McDowell Heating and Air Sportsman 100 on the season. Wesley Thompson bringing us back down for the restart.
And the green flag flies, which means we're good to go. Side by side they go. No one's really gained a position there. Oh, there we go. Thompson launched out there. Amber Lynn, she looks to take second. She wants to hang on to that number 12 of Justin Taylor, trying to regain his 3rd position.
Meanwhile, behind him, as they're side by side for 4th, Tommy Neal was able to get down. He was able to get down to the inside lane and solidify himself in 5th. Maybe trying to draw even with Mitch Gales for 4th off the corner, as Zach Orr got really loose, and now it's Taylor who moves up into 3rd, Gales to 4th, and the battle for the lead is back on.
Kyle Southern trying to give it to Tommy Neal there, but he does up getting himself a little bit sideways as they come on to turn 4 there. Back out front, though, look at this. We're watching our leaders. Amber Lynn running 2nd to Thompson. There she goes. She gives him a little bump. So she's letting him know, hey, man, anytime you're ready to group up, I'm going to take that lead.
9 laps shy of halfway, and Amber Lynn and this organization have been money all season long, and they've come out to play tonight as well. Thompson slips up off of turn 4. Lynn has a look down low, and they remain 1 and 2 as they're bumping and banging behind them. Zach Orr muscling his way around Michael Adams on the right-hand side of your screen.
Tell you what, the action is all over the track, all through the field here right now. Zach Orr, winner, like we said last week, looking to see if he can repeat or get a good finish out of this. As we watch the leaders, 1 and 2, they are pretty much glued together. Oh, another shot as they come out of turn 2. Amber Lynn letting Thompson know, I'm ready to take that lead.
And as we mentioned earlier, it looks like Lynn's car is cornering the center of the turn a little bit better than Thompson, as they both have a bit of a slide up off turn 4. It is still Thompson ahead of Amber Lynn, Justin Taylor running 3rd, and then a big gap back to the fight that you see on the right-hand side of your picture. Mitch Gales, followed by Tommy Neal, Kyle Southern, and Zach Orr working their way up towards the front of the pack, as we still have Thompson out front, and a caution.
Up there in turn number 2, it looks like we have someone who has spun out into the wall there as we look at it. The number 6 machine, Kirk Sheets out of Lexington, North Carolina. Whipped it around. Look at that car. Looks like it's had a little bit of contact with some other vehicles there.
Yeah, there's definitely some marks on the right side of that car that should not be there. Also missing the hood on that machine, and he appears to be trying to either wait for the tail end of the pack or may need some assistance to get that car refired. And it will slow the field for the second time in this race. And Sheets is going to be able to refire and roll away.
Doesn't seem like there's any damage enough to keep him from up that left front down a little bit. Yep, he'll head to the pits right now to make some quick repairs. It looked like that left front was kind of going down. Whew. Every time we get ready, a possible lead change up there. Amberlin and Thompson. A caution comes out there. 81's headed to the pits. 54's headed to the pits.
And that is one thing about these extra distance races, is that the pits will see a lot more activity just for adjustments. Taking the shot, especially with the choose cone. I mean, if you come into the pit area and a couple people like to start towards the rear of the field, you may have a chance to move up a few spots there. If even not on this caution, perhaps an ensuing yellow. So it may be worth the gamble to come in this first half, make some changes that you think will benefit your ability to move up through the field, and then hopefully parlay that into a good result instead of struggling all night long.
Mitch Gales in the 38 last time went from 4th to 2nd. And now he's back to 4th again. And also Tommy Neal took great advantage of the cone choosing for the last restart.
Statman handing us another good nugget here tonight. We mentioned Mitch Gales being up towards the front of the pack. In fact, he's the highest running driver who has not won yet this season. Well, this is the second year in a row that Gales has had a great run in this 100-lap feature event. He finished 4th, where he runs now, in last year's June version of the 100-lap Sportsman 100. Thank you, Mincy.
Well, if nothing else, he can match his finish from last time or improve it to get a better finish. But right now, he's going to have to make another decision. The cone is out.
J.B. Cole watching diligently to see what the field does. All he wants to do is make sure they do not hit his precious cone that he will have to retrieve as he runs for safety to head back to the flag stand with our chief starter, Randy Smith. Top 3 again elect the bottom, and again, it's Mitch Gales who goes outside.
And this time, Tommy Neal elects to go to the inside, so he's going to restart inside the 4th row. Right now, we're on lap 48.
2 laps shy of halfway, with Thompson doing a masterful job being able to hold on to the race lead. Mitch Gale's going to restart on the outside of the front row for the second time tonight as we get set to get this race back underway.
Well, so far we've had a pretty, I want to say, uneventful race, but we're going to go into the second half. And we're going to see what happens here because these drivers are ready to get, someone's ready to get a victory. Side by side they come, here they go. Once again, Thompson leaps out there. Amberlin follows, and the 38 of Gales relegated to the outside.
I think Gales was trying really hard to get to the bottom, just could not quite find a hole, and it doesn't look like one's going to present itself here just yet. Halfway home, and Wesley Thompson is still the leader. Amberlin has moved up to 2nd, side by side for 3rd.
4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th, all lined up side by side. Look at Tommy Neal. He's going to jump in there and say, I'll take any position I can get. That's why he restarted on the inside, because last time, the outside line did not work for him.
Oh, Zach Orr sideways on the main straightaway, able to catch it, still inside of Spencer Martin in a battle for position. Double wide, 2 rows deep there as Mitch Gales is struggling big time on the outside lane.
Looks like we have a spin on the backstretch.
Try to see if that car is able to get it back rolling as the racing continues, and the caution flag will fly.
That's your number 7 of Connor Branch, once again bringing out the caution. Not having a good night there, number 7.
No, we mentioned briefly as he was about to be overtaken by the leaders until the yellow flag was able to keep the 7 car on the lead lap. We were here watching qualifying before we went on air, single car qualifying, and something awkward happened to the back end of that rear end housing. We saw a puff of smoke. It looked like the rear end was just rattling around. It was actually knocked askew a little bit to the left from our perspective, and we thought maybe that would be terminal, but that team evidently got it repaired enough to get that driver out here. And now we're going to see if he'll be able to rejoin back here. Still a long way to go, only 53 laps in the books, still 47 circuits remaining. And I'm with you, Tim. I want to see a little bit more of a longer run here to see what materializes between that 22 and that 2 car.
All right, as we look at the running orders, they come by us here on the front straightaway. The cone is not out yet. It'll be a tough decision to see who's going to make those inside or outside line choices. I can tell you right now, first, second, third, all go to the inside. Now the number 19 has jumped up into the picture of Michael Adams.
We talked about drivers who have not yet been able to taste victory lane in the sportsman ranks this season. Michael Adams is one of those drivers. He works very hard on a weekly basis, has here for a number of years, and it sounds like the black flag is coming out for Kirk Sheets, possibly for laying down some fluid. So that is the rumbling that we're hearing. Sheets still on the racetrack towards the tail end of the pack. Looks as though we may have a car electing for the pit lane. No, that's going to be a wave around car, I believe. That's number 54, Braden Mills, passing the pace car.
That's a welcome thing for him. Now he can get back on the lead lap. Uh-oh, here comes the cone. Just as they come out of 4. No time to think about this one. There you go. There's your leader. Thompson. Lynn. Taylor.
Usually the expression is second verse, same as the first. This is what, third verse is same as the first and second, because the top three continue to elect the inside. Now it's going to be Michael Adams, who's going to be the brave soul to venture his way up to the outside of the front row. Kyle Southern's going to follow suit. And Mitch Gales, you would think after starting on the outside of the front row the last time and getting drop kicked, wouldn't go for it again. He's going to wait for him to pick up some spots.
Getting drop kicked. Relegated to the later positions there.
I don't think we're done with the drop kicking.
Oh, no, we're getting close. We're 55 laps in.
45 to go in the McDowell Heating and Air Sportsman 100. We'll see what Michael Adams can do outside of Thompson. Got a half a car length advantage as they approach turn 1.
Look at this. He's going to try to take the lead coming out of 2. And he does. He takes the lead. He leads on Thompson. There's your new leader in the number 19. Michael Adams uses the choose cone to his advantage.
Wow. You saw the tire smoke erupting off those two cars at the exit of turn number 2, and that's how it's done as we got a crash on the front straightaway.
As they come out of turn 4, that looks like a couple of cars got turned around, and they are up against the wall. There you go, the number 30 machine of Blake Shoup, and the number 6 who just went off into the pits of Kirk Sheets.
Heavy damage to the back end of Blake Shoup's car. Haven't seen a car get wrinkled up that badly on the back end here in quite some time, but both are able to fortunately drive away. I know we still have 42 laps to go, but that may very well be the move of the race, as it could turn out for Michael Adams. He timed the restart perfectly. He was just as aggressive as one could possibly be without getting shipped, and he made it work to cement the lead over Wesley Thompson.
I wish we had a telepathy on what Thompson was thinking as that restart happened, and they went into 1 and 2, and all of a sudden he's leading on him, and there's smoke on him. He's like, no, I just lost the lead that I have held for what's called 56 laps there.
And the other unique element of this caution, we've been seeing the top 3, Thompson, Lynn, Taylor, all elect the inside. Well, because of the timing of that yellow, Kyle Southern squeezed his way up into the top 5 as well. Now you've got Justin Taylor, the pole sitter, back to 5th before we even take the choose cone into consideration. So he may have to change up his strategy as well.
I'll bet you Kyle Southern goes to the outside. I bet you he takes the outside because he's an aggressive driver. I don't mean that in a bad way, but he wants to get up there in excitement. He's moved up this far. So he started 12th. Now he's running 4th. Why not use the cone to his advantage as well?
We used the term calling your shot a number of times, and one of the examples that we could bring up of that is we will have a chance here to take a look at this replay. Michael Adams was talking to our stat man Justin Mincy. He said he knows he hasn't won this season, but he promised to put on a show. Doesn't matter what the rest of the race looks like. That was incredible.
Yep, he got it. A little bit of bump in there, a little bit of contact, but not enough to like wreck both their days.
Just far enough ahead here to be able to squeeze Thompson down a little bit. Kind of get that car upset on the inside coming off of turn number 2. Thompson got sideways enough, and now we see the choose cone out yet again.
I was right.
Adams, Thompson, Lynn, the inside row. Kyle Southern, you called it.
Called it. I just watching him drive in his style. Here comes the number 55 of Zach Orr. He's going to go to the outside.
That's a name we have yet to see.
Yes.
Up into the top 5. Mitch Gales does it again, outside row 3. Spencer Martin's going to follow up there as well. And this is going to put Justin Taylor, the pole sitter, back in 7th, inside of row 4. Going to be married to that bottom lane here for this upcoming restart.
I'll tell you, I got goosebumps. This is getting better and better. Now the strategies, the cone is now changing how the play of the race goes, plays out. Here we go. Look at this, mashes the gas. Look at Adam regaining that lead. Look at Kyle Southern. He's going to take second place. He does. What a save.
That was incredible. That is twice that Wesley Thompson has gotten passed on the outside in the last 2 restarts. He's back to 3rd, and Zach Orr has slotted his way up into 4th.
And look at Amber Lynn, who's running 2nd for all time. Now she's running 5th, just like that. I'm telling you, man, the cone is your friend if you want it to be.
And it could be your enemy as well. Taylor dropped out of the top 5 for the time being. Off the corner they come. Amber Lynn and Zach Orr. These two have had a feud over the last few weeks. It popped up again last week, and they're about to go side by side on the backstretch.
And look at the number 55 of War, got a little squirrely there coming out of turn 2. She's like, hey, if your handling's not good, let me help you fix that real quick.
Oh, the fans were coming to their feet because they know the history between those two cars, and the caution flag will fly.
And we're looking here.
I believe this may be the red flag portion of our program for one of the special events that they put on here at Bowman Gray Stadium that we have not been able to do for the last, well, I'm not sure. Did we be able to do this last year? I'm looking at the stat man, Justin Mincy. Yes, last season we did. Obviously 2020, there was no Bowman Gray races here. 2019 was the last time I saw it, and this is something special.
I've never seen it. I don't know what we're going to do, but I'm looking forward to it.
So right now, we'll reset the picture before we quite literally hit the pause button. As the field runs right now, we have Michael Adams, by virtue of that amazing move on the outside of the second to last restart we had, out in front. Kyle Southern did the same thing to get up to second on the last restart. Wesley Thompson's led the most laps. He runs in 3rd. Then it's Zach Orr and Amber Lynn. Their history runs deep so far this season. Can't wait to see how that unfolds when we get back racing. And that takes you through your top 5.
So now, Kyle Southern, do you think he's going to line up on the inside or say the heck with it, I'm going to take it to the outside? We're going to find out, though. The red flag has come out.
So as the red flag comes out this time, it is going to be a unique moment that they do here at Bowman Gray Stadium. It is the Fire in the Sky nighttime pyrotechnic parachute jump. And we talked earlier, in-house announcer Randy Pettit does an amazing job as the showman to this Madhouse. For those of you who have never been here before, always dresses in a unique manner. A great guy through and through, and one of the best in-house voices you will find. And once he is ready, and once we get the signal, we will turn it over to Randy. We will turn our attention up towards the sky, and we're about to see something pretty special. Considering the fact that we're just outside the city limits, well, actually within the city limits of Winston-Salem, the fact that this venue could pull off something like this is incredible.
I'm looking forward to it.
Been here about a year ago, in fact a handful of years ago when this took place, and it was described to me just like you. I was like, hey, it doesn't make sense. Why would we stop a race for this, to be quite honest? And then when I saw it, and the crowd, we mentioned the size of this crowd, this is where this is going to come to a huge play. We have no engine noises or anything. Let's see what Randy has to say about this one.
I can't hear you. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Special Forces Association, Green Berets, and all service members deployed around the world, Bowman Gray Racing and the Special Forces Association are proud to bring you tonight's free fall parachute jump. The Special Forces parachute team, they perform an average of 40 free fall parachute demonstrations a year. These shows performed are in support of the Special Forces Association, U.S. Army Recruiting, Purple Hearts Foundation, Wounded Warriors, Special Forces Charitable Trust, Gold Star Families, and various community events and fundraisers. The entire Special Forces parachute team is made up of volunteers. The team consists of active duty members, retired service members, Department of Defense personnel, and their dependents. They range in age from 22 to 70 plus. They purchase and maintain their own equipment as a nonprofit organization dependent on donations from the general public and their sponsor. If you'd like to help, contact any of their team members here tonight at the Madhouse. Well, jumping for you tonight from Fayetteville, North Carolina, otherwise known as Fort Bragg, Vietnam, 1,734 jumps, U.S. Army retired Greg Hales. And a name you know well, jumping for you tonight, he is from Pendleton, Oregon, 3,750 jumps. He is U.S. Army retired Bo Kinnison. All right, ladies and gentlemen, If you'll look to the sky, they are out. The airplane is straight up, right above us here at the Madhouse. The jump aircraft is a Cessna 182 provided by Noah's Ark Aviation. There we go. On the ground from Sunnyvale, California, helping out U.S. Army retired Bill Gatter and Department of Defense retired Brenda Gatter from Boston, Massachusetts with 2,267 jumps. The jumpers are performing a free fall jump, accelerating speeds up to 120 miles an hour. You will see Old Glory being jumped tonight, and it may touch the ground, but the jumpers mean no disrespect for our national colors, but because of the size and weight of the flag, it's not possible to keep it completely off the ground. They will handle our flag with the greatest care and respect. Is there anybody here at this Madhouse tonight that loves your country? It's the greatest on earth still. Let's let these jumpers hear you, Madhouse. How about a little U.S.A. 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 Let them hear you now. U.S.A. U.S.A. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Greg Hales from Fayetteville, North Carolina, right over top of Bowman Gray Stadium. He has over 1,700 jumps. Let's see where he lands. He's going to try to put it right at the 50-yard line for you tonight. I've jumped out of an airplane several times with a parachute. All of them been safe, but I've never jumped out at night, and I've never had those pyrotechnics strapped to my boots. Those are two very brave men jumping out tonight to put on a show for you. He is circling and catching the wind for a good, safe landing. Come on, folks. U.S.A. 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 All right. How about a hand, ladies and gentlemen? Greg Hales, a perfect landing at about the 40-yard line. Still to come, a man that you know well. He has jumped for us many times over the years here at the Madhouse. Over 3,700 jumps from Pendleton, Oregon. U.S. Army retired Bo Kinnison, and he'll be carrying the colors of our great nation tonight. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. Here he comes. Let him hear it. Bo, we see you up there. He can hear you now. U.S.A. 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 Let's go, Bo. Big old safe landing right in the middle of our football field. One of the greatest Special Forces parachute jumpers in their history is on his way with Old Glory as we prepare to celebrate our nation's independence next weekend. No racing here at the Madhouse, but we stand proud tonight. Here comes the red, white, and blue, Bo Kinnison, proudly carrying our nation's colors. USA! 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 There they are, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm going to speak with both of these brave men tonight. They are safe, a safe landing once again for the Special Forces Association Green Berets. A free fall parachute exhibition for you tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Madhouse from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Proudly representing the U.S. Army, Mr. Greg Hales, ladies and gentlemen. Let him hear it. Greg, thank you so much for your service to our nation. I'm jealous. I've jumped out of those airplanes a few times, but never at night. It's got to be spectacular gliding in here at historic Bowman Gray Stadium.
Yes, sir. One of the greatest things I could do is jump for you tonight.
Y'all let him hear, ladies and gentlemen. Greg Hales from Fayetteville, North Carolina, over 1,700 jumps. And here's a man, we're about to become good friends. We see each other almost every year, and he does a fantastic job carrying our nation's colors tonight. Y'all know him well, ladies and gentlemen, from Pendleton, Oregon. How about it? U.S. Army retired, Bo Kennison, back at the Madhouse tonight.
Thank you very much, everybody. We're dedicating the jump tonight to a close friend of mine that we lost Wednesday. He was a retired sergeant first class, and he passed away Wednesday night. So this jump is for him. Thank you very much.
Bo, the only thing these fans love more than Bowman Gray Racing is their nation. Thank you, men, very much for jumping for us tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you have a fantastic July 4th celebration next week. We got some more racing for you tonight at the Madhouse. How about one more hand for tonight's sponsors and our jumpers tonight? Y'all let them hear it one more time.
What an incredible event here at Bowman Gray Stadium, and it almost worked out like a halfway break. We're a little bit past the halfway point. We're going to step aside for a moment. You're not going to miss a thing. We'll be back for the conclusion of the incredible Sportsman 100 we've had here today on Flow Racing, live from Bowman Gray Stadium.
Tonight, the number 92 car. Will it be Wesley Thompson, who led early in the 22, or Zach Orr in the 55? Will Amber Lynn get to the front and be the winningest lady driver in the history of Bowman Gray Stadium? We will find out in just a few moments. When you're looking for that perfect piece of jewelry, look no further.
And our friends at Hayes Jewelers of Lexington, they're home to one of the largest selections of world-class jewelry on the East Coast. Whatever the occasion, from gold to precious gems, pearls, and
Winston-Salem, North Carolina is a city with a rich history of reinventing itself. Here you can wine and dine back in time, or raise a glass to the future. Witness history in the making, or savor the present moment. That's why you'll love visiting Winston-Salem. Our past is present, our future is bright, and our city is yours to explore. Look forward. Travel back to Winston-Salem.
The hardwood flooring is Carolina Wood Floors. They offer installations.
Back here at Bowman Gray Stadium in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. We just watched the special event that takes place here every week before 4th of July weekend. We mentioned that next week is an off week for the Madhouse, one of the rare ones they have essentially built into the schedule. And we just finished seeing the Fire in the Sky nighttime pyrotechnic parachute jump. And we are now getting ready for the conclusion of the second of the season so far, McDowell Heating and Air Sportsman 100. Do a quick reset for you. I'm Eric Brennan alongside Tim Packman here tonight. And Tim, so far, I used the term one of those nights in the best way possible. This one has been a thriller between the energy of the crowd, between the racing on the track, and we're not really even halfway done yet. We still have a crazy final 45 laps to go in the Sportsman 100.
I know, and it's amazing. And now we have a developing story while the jumpers were doing their awesome show there. Never saw that before. That was pretty cool. Glad I did. Kyle Southern, who had jumped up into the second place there. Fluids were on the track when they were swerving around when they went to the red flag. I looked down and I saw some fluids. So they, the cleanup crew's down there in turn number 4. The Speedy drives down there, push him to the pits. We'll see what happens there. He makes his way back out, but I don't know if it's going to be terminal or not, but we'll see what happens there. But just wanted to share that with you, what had taken place while we were away.
And that stinks for us, right? Because we were talking about under the red flag. Is he going to elect to jump to the outside of Michael Adams like he did to get up to second the last restart? Now we're robbed of that opportunity. But he wasn't the only one who had some problems. We also saw young Riley Neal getting pushed frantically to the pit area. We haven't seen that car try to return just yet. So we'll have to see if Riley Neal, who is one of the winners this year for the Sportsmen, after they were frantically trying to work that car towards the infield, as we are back now under the yellow flag following the mid-race break, a little more than a mid-race break, in order to have our stunt show done on the infield. And the crowd was completely into it and behind it. I think it's a great way to kick off the week leading up to your 4th of July festivities. But back to business. We got a race to run. And Michael Adams, by virtue of that incredible outside move on one of those choose cone restarts, is holding the point. Wesley Thompson, according to the stat book, has led the most laps so far. And we've got another subplot. We spoke with Matthew Dillner leading into these races, and he gave us a couple of key notes to point out. And Tim, you knew this as well based on your experience here so far over the last week. There's a little bit of history between car 55 and car 2, and now they may end up starting nose to tail, side by side. They're in the same room together. I'm not sure how this one's going to play out either.
I don't know, but it's going to be very important when that cone comes out where they choose on who's going to be the first one to go to the outside, because we saw what Michael Adams was able to do in the number 19 by taking that outside, took the lead, and then Kyle Southern, he was able to do it too, but then now he's off in the pit area. Now who's going to take that outside line, because we still have what, a bunch of laps to go here. 33 laps to go, and that's a lot of time here, because most of your features here are 25 laps for these guys.
Absolutely. And we mentioned Riley Neal going to the pit area. He has rejoined the race, so we are still missing Kyle Southern, and that one may be a little bit more terminal, and that is such a heartbreaker for Southern, even though he's gone to victory lane already this season, still trying to grab one of these prestigious Sportsman 100s, being able to prove that you can do it for more than just a short distance and have to navigate your way through these longer sets of circumstances really goes a long way for some of these drivers in their Bowman Gray Stadium careers.
Well, Michael Adams, we know where he's going to choose when this cone comes out. And I think the 22 of Wesley Thompson might do the same. I'm not going to even try to make. What if this is the time where Amber Lynn says, you know what, I'm going to go to the outside. She knows her car better than everybody.
I would not be surprised, especially based on the way that car has performed, as we do see the 7 of Connor Branch getting the free pass. That was a nifty move there by Jamie Cole, right in front of the pace truck, or pace SUV, if you will. Adams selects the bottom. Thompson selects the bottom.
Oh, Amber Lynn goes to the bottom. Here it goes. Here goes the number 12. Your pole sitter, Justin Taylor, says, I'll go back up there. I ran up there before. I'm going to do it again. Oh, my gosh. This is just too much. Who else has went up there? Who else took the move? The number 6?
The number 5 is Spencer Martin.
I'm sorry, 5.
Our points leader, Tommy Neal. If I was Amber Lynn, I would have hit that cone. There's no way I would have been able to make up my mind being 4th in line on the inside. That's where she's going to line up. So after the brief break, here we go. Michael Adams and Justin Taylor bringing us back down for the restart.
They go off in side by side for the lead, but it looks like it's going to be Adams. A little bit of an advantage, and he powers out of turn number 2 to take that lead.
Problems for Riley Neal. That car sparking heavily on the left side. Now a piece of debris comes out. Looks as though there may be something amiss on the left rear of that car.
Yep, something definitely went wrong there on the restart. And he'll limp that off into the pit area. Maybe make some repairs, maybe not. We did mention that he did have to go to the pits when they did the stunt show thing and came back out. Whatever they were working on probably looks like they did not get it quite.
Now, if the lap counted, it looks as though Justin Taylor is going to be able to make that choose cone work for him and go all the way up to 2nd place. And this would greatly impact Amber Lynn. Remember, she restarted 4th in line. As we take a look here at the timing and scoring ticker, we are showing the 12 in 2nd spot, as well as the number 22 of Wesley Thompson, and they're saying Spencer Martin was in 4th as the choose cone's back out again.
There you go. Look at, no one's taking it. There we go. Nope. No way.
Wow.
There you go. There's Tommy Neal, your first one to go. There goes Amber Lynn. She says, the heck with it. I'm going to go up front. I'm going to start outside. I'm going to start 4th.
And these are 2 drivers that got burned by the choose cone already,
yes.
At least once tonight. Amber just now, Tommy Neal earlier.
Well, another decision maybe by Amber Lynn, the 55, and her have had a history. Now she's separated out of that a little bit, unless the outside line doesn't get going.
Saw there momentarily some fireworks off into the distance here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, just to add to some of the pizzazz that we have with us here this evening.
Pizzazz, he says.
Trying to break out all the good words here tonight.
Taylor and Amber Lynn makes a move.
All right, so we are not going to go this time around. Yellow flag is going to stay out at least one more lap. See what Chief Starter Randy Smith has in store for the field.
Oh, they're slowing way down.
And some of their employees and special guests are here. We want to thank.
And it looks like we were waiting on the free pass for Connor Branch to be able to come around and make the move around the field. Now that Branch has been able to do that.
So there's Tommy Neal going to restart outside in a car that he's not familiar with. A car that, like we talked about earlier, they pretty much thrashed it together. Then he get a seat in there that fit him. And because his car, the number 21, the familiar red and white one, not operating, not running tonight. So he got in there just so he could keep his points up. And starting there, I wonder if he's going to have enough to maintain there or fall into second place behind Michael Adams. But you got Justin Taylor right there, who's been up front most of the night. It's going to be tough. Amberlin now restarting fourth. This is going to be
maybe the most interesting restart of the night so far. Going to be coming to the line here with about 27 laps to go. Adams to the bottom. Thompson further back behind him. That is Neal trying to get the lead away. Here comes Taylor trying to fill the hole. Amber Heard spins.
Amber gets spun around there. You see Amberlin, she gets turned there in turns 1 and 2. And there's debris on the track.
Goes around in turn number 1 and 2.
The disadvantage of restarting on the outside with a race like this, you just saw what happened.
Amberlin down in turn number 1 and 2. We mentioned vying for that second 100-lap win of the season so far. Not saying the chances are done just yet. And she will fall to the tail end of the pack.
Wow, what a change.
Let's take a look at the replay as far as what happened. Oh, got drilled there by Wesley Thompson. Not sure if she was trying to get down to the inside or not.
Heavy contact, instantly turned her. Look at that. That's a quick spin around, too. Yeah, there's debris that came off. You can see it scoots up to the track there. Not sure if it's from her or the 55 of Orr. We'll take a look as she comes by here.
This is down from our speed shot camera. Oh, yeah, there was a piece that came off of the car in front of Amberlin.
Taylor.
I'm not sure what that was, but that was a good catch by the production truck there to point that out for us. See it again from the speed shot. I'm watching, yeah, it looked like something may have come out from Tommy Neal's car. Not sure if it was related to the contact. I think Amber may have gone around no matter what, but definitely something came out from underneath of Tommy Neal's machine.
Yeah, and affected the cars behind him, as you can see. Did that lead to the spin, or that just ate to it? But either way, Amberlin goes around there and will now restart at the back of the field.
So how this race continues to evolve and unfold, Michael Adams at the head of the pack. Granted, this is all going to be subject to change with the upcoming choose cone. Following this race, we'll have a second modified feature event for the Brad's Golf Course.
Another one. Oh my gosh, these people are spoiled tonight with all this action.
It's crazy. Then we've got a stadium stock event, and we'll wrap things up with a skid race for 6 laps.
Those are always exciting to watch. Interesting, action-packed. In the meantime, though, the sportsmen here, we are on lap 78 of 100, and the action up front has not disappointed. Here we go, the cone's out. Who's going to go? Who are you picking there?
Looks like Justin Taylor is thinking about going up top. No, going to follow. Tommy
there we go.
On the inside, and it's going to be Wesley Thompson, who's led several laps so far today.
Here goes Zach Orr, the 55. He chooses the outside. Wow. All right. Lights are off on the pace vehicle. That means we're going to go green when they come back.
You see the fireworks off in the distance there over the back straightaway.
I bet we can start getting some here real quick, too, on the track.
As if we haven't had enough already.
Let's have some more.
All right, so we've got Michael Adams on the inside. Back to the power early. Thompson trying to follow through on the inside as there's contact amongst rows 2 and 3. Still trying to settle it out here.
Look at Taylor beating on the back end of the 0-8 of Neal as he gets through there. Zach Orr, the outside, does not want to get hung up on that outside lane, but Taylor's going to keep him right there as they battle for fourth.
Taylor and Orr continuing to go side by side in that battle for the fourth spot, as you mentioned, just behind that of Tommy Neal, the point leader in the borrowed ride, and Zach Clifton. That's a name we haven't called upon much as Taylor spins in 3.
Contact with a 55 brought that on. And we have a cone getting wiped out back on the track, grass all over, and the caution will come out.
I think Taylor was thinking, if I keep my foot in it, I'll retain my spot here, and it looks like he's going to be able to do just that. And a little bit of a brake check there to Zach Orr. He wasn't appreciating that one.
Told you, more fireworks. We're going to have it.
And there is a lot of dirt littered all the way through turns 3 and 4. The track crew has their work cut out for him. That was a mega slide by Taylor at the end of the back straightaway after he and Orr got a little bit too close for comfort on the back straightaway. Let's go back and relive it.
See right there, they come out of turn, a little contact there, and he looks like, I don't know if Taylor or came down into her, or Taylor was trying to go up and washed up there a little bit. Either way, though, he spun around. Look at it, he does keep his position. Once again, we'll look at it right here. Tell me what you're seeing there, Eric.
It's really hard to tell. It looks like maybe, I don't know. That's about as close of a racing deal as I've ever seen one. I can't tell who came up or who came down.
Definitely a racing deal because there wasn't, I wouldn't say, any definitive, effort to make contact.
Oh, I agree. I agree, absolutely.
That's our second cone of the night if you're counting at home.
Take one more look at it here. Well, I mean, Orr did get a little bit loose, but I'm not too sure on that one. I hate to waffle on these types of circumstances, but that one is truly really hard to tell.
Well, the caution comes out, and we're going to have to clean up the track big time out there.
Oh, we've got a story developing here on the front straightaway.
Oh, Amber Lynn.
Amber Lynn, moment, she actually came to a stop here on the front stretch. Remember, that car got turned around just about a lap ago, and I saw her with the helmet off. And the crowd is evidently reacting to her vehicle being pushed back to the pit area.
Do you think it's the anti-Amber or the pro-Amber fans that are getting pushed off?
Hard to tell from up here, but there's definitely a lot of noise happening down there.
Tell you, over the weeks, I've watched the tide turning between her and the other drivers. And, there's a lot of support for her, but, sometimes there isn't because she's beating other people's drivers that they adore so much.
So Amber's going to make her way back to the pit area. It looks like tonight will not be the night in which she is able to at least either tie the number of wins by a female in a single season or surpass Susan Kimmel for all-time wins by a female. And again, that was another pair of stats brought to you by our stat guy, Justin Mincy.
I'm just going to call him Google.
Yeah, it's
Google Race. Let's call him Google Race.
I think he's better than Google at this point.
Well, when it comes to this right here, yes.
So as you can see, we are working lap 82 with Michael Adams out in front, Wesley Thompson, who picked the outside the last time through. The officials appear to be trying to work on something here. They are trying to stop Justin Taylor and relegate him to the rear of the field for his involvement in the caution. And
really?
Taylor right now pleading his case with the officials.
This is interesting. Well, apparently we thought it was a racing deal. Apparently maybe someone else didn't. Or maybe they're just having a little chat with him.
So Justin Taylor, who was the pole sitter, second in championship points with a win under his belt so far this season, obviously someone you think about when it comes to these Sportsman 100 lappers. And he is driving off and not happy about having to fall to the tail end of the pack with so little laps to go. As the laps continue to click off, in these long races, caution laps do count. And as you can see, there is fluid that Taylor has left behind on the main straightaway after stopping there to talk with our chief starter, Randy Smith.
And now it gets even more interesting as he runs over his own fluid there.
The unfortunate side of this is that we are clicking laps off under the yellow flag. Not sure where the cutoff may be for that, if there is in fact is one.
Well, Justin Taylor, so whatever the consultation was for him to be stopped by the officials on the front straightaway,
pretty unique set of circumstances unfolding here in the latter stages of this Sportsman 100 as we are about to see the shoes cone, which has been one of the most pivotal points of this race so far tonight.
let's see who's going to take the bold move here with 15 laps to go.
Adams inside.
There you go. Tommy Neal's going to do it again.
And the points leader is going to put it all on the line.
There goes the 81. Zach Clifton, he's going to go to the outside. He'll restart in fourth. Neal, what's going to happen next, buddy? What is going to happen next?
Tommy Neal with basically a borrowed ride for the most part, trying to extend the championship point lead while Michael Adams is trying to go to victory.
Oh, what's that?
A little bit of a stack up there as they approach the pace car. Everybody driving into everybody, and we are not going to go this time.
Well, I asked the question. I got my answer, didn't I? What's going to happen next? So far, we've had this. We've had red flag. We've had parachuters falling out of the air. What's next? Godzilla rising up over the city?
Looks as though after the bumper tag, we got one car dead in the water. That's Braden Mills, who got stopped there after everybody really stacked up. I'm not sure if Adams was too close to the pace vehicle, that he deemed it appropriately to slow down, or he was trying to catch the field off guard, or what happened there.
The old cat and mouse of a restart.
You're right, though. It has been a wild night on the racetrack and the broadcast booth. But it's been a fun one, for sure.
And we're not done yet. Okay, here we go. Let's see now. Here comes Tommy Neal. He pulls up to the outside of Adams, and they're sparking underneath of Adams, 19. Maybe we know why something happened there. We'll have to see if that's going to develop into something. And the caution comes back out again. There's one to go.
I wonder if they're going to try to keep them in the order in which they took the choose the last time. But you're right, Tim. When that car came down the back straightaway last time, looking at it on the left side, I did see sparks trailing from underneath that number 19 car. The duration of these races is not just physical in nature for the driver, it is for the vehicles as well. And there's been a lot of contact, there's been a lot of accident avoidance. You see the front end on Adams' car actually kind of buckled.
Right below the numbers, there's something's dragging. Will it affect the outcome of this race? Will it affect his handling?
Oh, it just
fell off. Whatever it was is gone.
It's on the back straightaway right now.
Now we have debris. Caution will come back out.
They are still waving the yellow flag. Now the caution flies.
There it is. Whatever was dragging on his car, there it is. Maybe it wasn't from his car. Something just got trapped underneath
it. It is possible that it just got wedged underneath them there. And what a job by our crew here as they bring that off. Whatever it is doesn't look to be all that rigid.
It's definitely some type of, there was heavy some metal or something in it to make it spark like that. That track crew's been busy today. With all the parts they have behind those two walls, I think you can almost build a race car by them.
I think you're right.
Yeah. Just need a motor.
All right, so let's see if we do. We will, in fact, get the one to go signal this time by.
So this is where we see if Tommy Neal made the right move out. These two, Adams and him, are doing something up there. Like Adams is almost like pushing him up right now. Like he's letting him know, you are not going to take this lead from him.
Maybe trying to run him up the hill a little bit, put him at a disadvantage when he gets back to the gas and the restart zone. I guess we're about to find out.
Look at them. They're right up on the pace vehicle there. These guys are ready to go.
And just like that, we've got 9 laps to go. It'll be 8 to go when they come to the line.
Wow.
We've clicked off so many caution laps. We're in the final 10 laps. We're back underway.
No way is they going to take it.
Like that one.
No, Adams gave him a little shove up to Tommy Neal. What's going on there?
Oh, no!
Now Tommy Neal, something broke on his car. His left front. Oh, you know what? Oh, my gosh, he made contact with him. The left front went down. That's what Adams was doing.
And I think Tommy Neal is hot.
Hot.
He's
beyond hot. He's Vesuvius right now. And we thought something, remember, came off his car when Amber Lynn had that wreck. And now, Tommy Neal, as a result of that, possibly has now affected his car. Here he was, ready to restart second. That left front wheel is off, tire is off. Is that because him and Adams was rubbing on him the way he was?
We'll see.
I'm going to say yeah. I'm going to throw it on a limb.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you on that one. There was a lot of contact there. Now Tommy Neal is going to go to the pit area, and keep in mind that is your points leader. So this is after the attempted restart, and as you can see, that left front is down and just carrying too much steam to keep it off the wall.
Yeah, that's sparking right in there, and you know when that happens, that's your control is done. I think Adams had rubbed up on him so much that it cut that left front. And if I'm Tommy Neal, I'm either A, changing that thing real quick, Or I'm just going to park it and say the heck with it.
I mean, you said it earlier, the cat and mouse games that we're ensuing for these restarts. And again, we just keep clicking laps off right now. Right now we're showing 6 to go. If the laps continue to click off, it'll be 5 to go here. Obviously, they're giving Tommy Neal his allotted amount of time to get that tire changed. That's a rule that's set forth here by the racetrack. But what a wild McDowell heating in there. Sportsman 100, we're on 1 to go.
What if that's part of Adam's strategy? Like, hey, this is it. I'm going to make this so they keep ticking them off. But now here we are. We're single file restart. Wow, whatever's going through Adam's head, if that was his plan to like mess up the outside guy like that, it definitely worked. Now there's single file restart. He knows nobody's going to be to his outside.
So with a single file restart, we got a new player into the mix. It is Wesley Thompson back up to second. Zach Clifton in third. Here we go. 4 laps to settle. The Sportsman 100, and they're already sideways for the lead as they approach turn 1.
But it's going to be Adams who's going to maintain lead. He's watching up high in that turn. He's showing the inside to Adams. Wesley Thompson.
Everybody hit everybody that time coming through turns 1 and 2. Thompson, who had a very strong car, trying to draw even with Adams as they come off 4, but he caught the dirt on corner exit. 3 to go.
Now he's going to try. He shows him the inside a little bit again. Is he going to be the move? Is going to happen down here. If Thompson's going to make the move, it's going to happen right here through 3 and 4.
Adams are washing up a little bit high. Meanwhile, some of the drivers have had some bad luck trying to work their way back further forward, including that of Justin Taylor. What a run by Kirk Sheets as we have less than a lap and a half to go. Thompson bobbles off 2.
Now Adams powers through there for 3 and 4, trying to get as far ahead as he can from that second place car.
White flag is out for Michael Adams, looking for his first win of the season, and it might be one of the biggest of his career. Half a lap to go.
I don't think Thompson has enough to catch him. It's going to be Adams who chose the outside line. Here he comes out of 4. Powers matches again. Checkered flags flying, your winner. The number 19, Michael Adams.
Adams is able to go to victory lane for the first time this season, ahead of Wesley Thompson, Zach Clifton, and Zach Orr. Take you through your top 4 competitors. Adams is going to be able to celebrate watching Tommy Neal, who is in a hurry. Tommy
here we go.
The 08 car
Tommy
on
Neal.
his way.
He's not going to the pits.
Happy.
Wow, he's going to follow him right to victory lane. Just a little bump. Say, hey, just want you to know I'm not too happy with you. All right, that's good. Didn't destroy their cars, didn't tear them up. That's not his car. Don't forget, he's not driving his car. So he's going to have 2 bills, his car and then this guy's car. You know?
So, and I saw after a little bit of a nudge there, Michael put his hand up. Not sure he's even aware as to how the events went down from his perspective, but he's the one holding the checkered flag here tonight. Yet another winner in the Sportsman ranks here on this evening. He joins Tommy Neal, Riley Neal, Kyle Southern, Amber Lynn, Chase Robertson, along with Dylan Ward, Zach Orr, Justin Taylor, Wesley Thompson, Zach Clifton. There's been a lot of checkered flags to go around in the Sportsman ranks so far this year. Michael Adams just added his name to the list.
That is career number 21 for Adams, and he joins his father David as a Sportsman 100 winner. There you go, family success.
That was send it down trackside to Randy Pettit to hear from our winner, Michael Adams, here tonight, the Sportsman 100.
This ought to be good.
Well, Michael Adams gets his 21st victory here at Bowman Gray Stadium. And it's been a little while, but this will actually be his 3rd victory in one of the 100-lap events here at the Madhouse. And he is a happy camper as he unbuckles inside of his race car. A long, hot night. We had a red flag for the parachute jump. A lot of caution flags there at the end. But here he is, ladies and gentlemen. Here's your winner, Michael Adams. Michael, we'll turn this way here. A lot of challengers kept lining up behind you tonight. We knew Wesley Thompson had a fast race car from qualifying. And I saw you coming there, middle part of the race. I could tell you had a good car. And finally, you took that cone, got up there, took the lead, and off you went, man. Great race. Congratulations.
Thank you, brother, man. It's been a long time coming. I got to thank all my guys, Bubba, Michael, my dad, Ryan, Rob, all my guys, Ricky. And if it wasn't for them, man, we would not be here.
What were you thinking when the Tiger Tommy Neal took the restart cone, went to the outside, and there you have a handful of the Tiger on the outside? What were your thoughts at that point?
I knew Tommy'd be tough. He keeps playing these games. Kept running over my right front before we went green. Knocked the toe out, I guarantee it. Wouldn't turn that last time. But he run me clean. He knocked me out of gear on the restart. Had to shove it back in. But we're here, man.
You got it done, man. And I know you got a lot of great sponsors on this car you'd like to thank.
Rob Strucken, Eveready Mixed Concrete, Scuba's Clean Pools, Todd Brothers Plumbing, Two Broke Girls. Man, we got so many people. I'm so thankful for them. And last but not least, I got to thank Marty Fuller. He has been with me from the start. Gives me an awesome motor, the best crate motor. This only Dodge down here, but the Dodge represents tonight.
All right, Michael Adams will go to the Carolina Woodforce Winner's Circle to celebrate with our Grand Marshal, Forsyth County District Attorney Jim O'Neill. Jim, that was a pretty good one. He's got a big smile on his face. We want to thank Jim O'Neill for all he does here in Forsyth County. He is our District Attorney and our Grand Marshal here tonight.
Michael Adams, now a winner in the Sportsman Rankings in 2022. The modifieds are getting lined up. Second race of the night coming your way right after a short break. We'll be back here in the Madhouse in just a moment.
You remember, race 1 winner, Bert Myers at Madhouse Travel Drawing through 10. And guess who that is going to put on pole? He is a rookie modified driver that got his first victory in a modified earlier this year. He's not a rookie, but he got his first victory earlier this season, and he is back on the front row again. How about it from Arcadia, the number 79 car, Zach Brewer. He'll start on the pole tonight in the EME Industrial Pole Back Towing C4 Tar Heel Wood Floors, number 79. Well, he had some bad luck here last week. His luck is changing a little bit in race number 2. He was of all officers of John Barrow. Race Gear Defense Award winner tonight, and he'll start on the outside of row number 1. He is the showstopper from Mount Airy. He's the Jerry Huff Super Center Blue Ridge Design, Hodges Realty number 16.
Winston-Salem, North Carolina is a city with a rich history of reinventing itself. Here you can wine and dine back in time, or raise a glass to the future. Witness history in the making, or savor the present moment. That's why you'll love visiting Winston-Salem. Our past is present, our future is bright, and our city is yours to explore. Look forward. Travel back to Winston-Salem.
Back here at Bowman Gray Stadium, and we are getting set for the second Brad's Golf Cars Modified event here tonight on what has been an incredible night so far. Hard to believe we still have this modified race left to go, plus the stadium stocks, plus the skid race here on an action-packed night here at the Madhouse. And I'll tell you what, Tim, it's going to be really hard to beat that sports race we just had, but I think these modifieds are going to do it.
Well, they inverted the, I believe, the top 10. That was the magic number that first winner Bert Myers drew. While they're still doing victory lane down there, Michael Adams, want to do the lineup? Let's do it.
Sure, let's fire away. We told some of the stories so far here tonight. The pole sitter is about to assume his spot for the Hillbilly Racing, number 79 out of Arcadia, North Carolina. Mentioned that team, put an engine in that car. Not a new engine, but they went back to one that they knew was reliable. Zach Brewer going to start on the pole outside. Chris Fleming trying to make up ground in the championship standings. After the bad luck last week, he'll start second. Daniel Beeson, could this be the night for the Kernersville, North Carolina driver, where it all finally comes together for him? On the outside, one of the winners so far this season, and car number 69, John Holloman the fourth.
Out of Pfafftown, North Carolina, the number 5 of Randy Butner. Out of Winston-Salem, that'll be the number 22 of Jonathan Brown. Your points leader, the 04 out of Winston-Salem, that is Brandon Ward. And of the Myers brothers, this is the number 8. On number 4, starting 8th, Walnut Cove, North Carolina.
Tim Brown came up one spot short of his first win in quite some time. If he's going to pull it off here, he's going to have to do it from 9th position in car number 83. And the driver trying to sweep the night out of Walnut Cove, North Carolina, Burt Myers, is going to be starting in 10th spot. Jeremy Gerstner out of Wesley Chapel, Florida, will take car number 55 from the inside of row 6. And on the outside, another one of the winners so far in 2022 out of King, North Carolina, car 51, Junior Snow.
Another guy making a long haul down here is Dan Speeney from Newton, Pennsylvania. He's in the number 37. Dean Ward in the number 12 out of Winston-Salem. Danny Probst in the number 3 out of Monroe. And Lee Jeffries in the number 75 out of Walberg, North Carolina.
Row number 9, you're going to find car 99 of William Smith to the inside. Outside, car number 05, Buzzy Beavers in the 18th starting position. 19th starting spot is where you'll find modified regular here at the Madhouse and many other racing venues. Brian Lofton. Outside is going to be that of Alfred Hill in car 77.
Starting 21st, the number 6, the Butcher, Greg Butcher, and Corey Lovett, the number 14. And rounding out the field, the number 88, that is Dan Speeney.
23 cars scheduled to come down for the green flag, our second Brad's Golf Cars modified event of the night. And while we have a moment, let's give a shout out to all of our hardworking members here on our production this evening at Flow Racing. Everyone has done an amazing job top to bottom covering all elements of tonight's broadcast, including our camera operators. We've got Zach Evans and Bronson Hill up top. You can't forget Hound Dog over in the static cam in turns 1 and 2. We've also got Seth Bowman, who's handling some of our 3-play and replay duties. And Mark Keeler is incredible with putting these shows on and together, and an absolute pleasure to work with. I know we're filling the shoes for Matthew Dillner here so far tonight. Those are big shoes to fill, but boy, do we have an A-team, and I'm so fortunate to be here tonight working alongside you, buddy.
I totally agree. You and I have never met before, but I followed your work, and I knew I had to bring my A game tonight, and you brought yours, and I'll tell you what, these are just so enjoyable to do for you folks, and I hope you're enjoying as much as we are.
But I will confess, we are far from perfect.
Never tried to be.
Field underway for their pace laps here. Zach Brewer, who has gone to victory lane once already this season. It was a very popular win for that team, that organization, but we touched on it slightly. They put a new motor in this car, or they at least got a motor back from one of their builders, and they just haven't quite been able to figure it out. They've been wrestling with it. When they came out for first practice this morning, it just wasn't right. They knew something was wrong, so they decided to take the leap. When I showed up here at 5 p.m., they were still trying to finish up that motor swap in its entirety to get him out in time in the second and final practice. I guess we're about to find out if that will be the difference maker to get Zach Brewer and that team back to the winning ways that they know they're capable of.
That'll be interesting to see, because those guys that won earlier, Burt Myers, who won earlier, had the fastest lap of the year laid down in qualifying. Now he's got some work to do to get back to the front. Fleming, another popular driver here, and last week starting fourth, the number 69 is John Holloman. The fourth had some really rotten luck in the middle of the year, but turned it around and now got himself into victory lane last weekend.
So many storylines to keep tabs on. There you see Burt Myers on your screen, and you know, he kind of said to both of us, we had the chance to talk to him, a lot of it's been luck related. He put himself in a good position to start off tonight, but he's going to be on the outside in the middle of the pack. It's going to be really hard to try to put it all together, but his victory lane interview kind of gave us some thought that maybe he believes that he and this team have that car dialed in just right. He said that he was so confident, he was lifted on the straightaways. Burt may very well be able to put on a bit of a show. He openly admitted he may be out of championship contention, and they're just going to try to collect some trophies. We'll see if he can do it from 10th.
I'll tell you what, if he's starting 10th, he can't tiptoe like he did before, because there's a bunch of guys lined up behind him that aren't here to tiptoe. So it'll be interesting to see with him and Brown lined up next to each other, the 5th row there when we start this race, what they can do to move their way forward.
1 to go signal being given by our chief starter, Randy Smith, with J.B. Cole alongside. And for the second and final time tonight, final time really in 2 weeks, you'll be able to see the Brad's Golf Cars Modifieds here at the Madhouse with the off week upcoming. It'll be Zach Brewer and Chris Fleming on the front row.
I'll tell you what, the excitement here, we just had a great 100 lapper. Now when the modifieds come out for the second feature, I'm telling you, these fans at Bowman Gray, they are spoiled. They get 2 modified features tonight.
Best ticket in motorsports right here. The 600 horsepower modifieds are about to get us underway.
Nope.
Not this time.
About 2. Well, I'll tell you, he wants to make sure that motor's really good there, Zach Brewer, but you got to line them up side by side. And we talk about it because these drivers are so ready to race, and the cat and mouse game that takes place. The one thing I do like about Bowman Gray, like, okay, we didn't get that start. Line them up. We're going to go again. So get it together because you have 2 turns before you cut them loose.
Maybe I need to use the Matthew Builder line. Let's try that here. By the grace of God and 600 horsepower, it's the NASCAR Modifieds at the Madhouse, and that didn't work either.
Fleming needs to keep up there. Fleming has not lined up outside of Brewer yet. Now, I don't know what the rule is here, but sometimes some tracks, that happens the 3rd time. You just lost your second starting position, and you get to go see everybody in the back. You can see every bumper.
All right, Tim, I think I'm the problem. Why don't you take over?
Oh, really? You want to try that? Okay. Zach Brewer is going to lead him. Let's see if Chris Fleming can go side by side. Fleming is not keeping up. Here he goes. Come on. Not again. He does not keep up. Oh, my God. Oh, now Fleming takes the spin. Kills a cone. Avoids that wall there and comes right back out in second.
I thought for sure he was going to nail that Jersey barrier where the track workers were positioned down there in turn number 1.
Good driving. He got right between the cone and the Jersey barrier. That's our 3rd cone of the night for those of you keeping track at home. I don't know what's up with Fleming, but he has to line up next to the leader. And if the leader, I don't think he's pulling that much of a speed or RPMs, he's getting ahead of him. Here they go. Now it's looking, they're under caution.
I think they were trying to get the field back in order. Everybody started to pile into one another. A bit of a chain reaction pile up there on the back straightaway. This is the race that doesn't want to get going. And look at this. Randy Smith is saying, you know what? I've had enough. Use your heads. Let's get this thing rolling.
Well, I don't. Is this on Zach Brewer or is this on Chris Fleming? Because Brewer's keeping pace. The car starting 3rd, Daniel Beeson, he's maintaining pace. But when Fleming goes backwards, Holland goes backwards, so does Jonathan Brown. Everyone to the outside. So who accommodates who is the question I'm asking myself.
Yeah,
does Brewer accommodate Fleming, or does Fleming try to get to the outside?
I'm back with the Justin Taylor and Zach Orr incident earlier. I'm not sure who to blame at this point. And that's not just me trying to be middle of the road. But
no, I get it.
It's
we're not in the car. We don't have radios.
All right, so 1 to go signal being given.
Right.
A stern warning has been given to the front row. I'm 0 for 2 on trying to get this one going.
I'm 0 for 1.
So, Tim,
let's even it up. You want to even it up here?
Step you back into the batter's box here. Let's see how this one plays out. I think you got the secret sauce on this one.
The ground-pounding Modifieds always put on a great show no matter where they race. But at Bowman Gray Stadium, nobody does it like they do here. Here we are. We're side by side. It's Brewer and Fleming looking good. The apex of 3 and 4. Here we go. Green flag flies. Mash the gas. Make him go fast. And Brewer will jump out to the lead. Oh, banging it already there. Fleming's going to go around again. Can he keep it going? Is the caution going to come? Oh, we have a spin here. Looks like right in turn 1, a bunch of cars have come to a stop. The caution will come out. So we got the green, but we didn't get too far. We got to turn 1, and there it went.
We got the race started, but that was about it. Dan Spini is the car that is sitting towards the outside retaining wall. I believe Danny Prost may have kind of shot the right rear quarter panel of that car as it was sitting sideways. But the first slide was one of the potential favorites starting up towards the front of the pack in Chris Fleming. We mentioned the fact he got the Hard Luck Award after being involved in the, hard to say, it was even a lap 1 crash last week that forced he and Jonathan Brown to jump into backup cars that negated their ability to earn championship points. Fleming thought maybe he would have an opportunity at redemption here, but after trying to slide back in line ahead of Daniel Beeson, he went for a ride. Let's see how it all unfolded.
So there you see Fleming goes in there, and he gets a little sideways, and then the cars behind him. Oh, they're beating and banging down there. Is that Tim Brown? No, they were caught together, and Spini got to the outside, and there the other ones just stacked up behind him.
I think Fleming was trying really hard to get down there to the inside. Zach Brewer backed up the corner a good bit there, getting into 1. And Fleming, the showstopper, almost stopped down there in the first turn.
Yeah, the 2 orange cars that owned by Tim Brown, they got together on the restart. And then they, as a result, some other guys spun behind them. See, bottom of right here, we're going to look at the bottom of the shot. Watch the 2 orange cars as they come into your screen. Right there, right into the back end. See that? Oh, look at that Nerf bar. Good shot right there. And then he got off of it because he realized, hey, that's my teammate. And 3 cars behind him suffered. because of what they did there, but they were already stacked up in front of him anyhow.
Based on the starting lineup, that would be Jeremy Gerstner, who got into the back of Tim Brown first. Then it was Dan Spini who piled him the back of Gerstner. Dean Ward finished him off, sliding his way through there just down low. That might have been Junior Snow. And then it was Danny Prost who kind of punched the right rear fender of Spini's car with a few more spinning to avoid the carnage.
Well, because that's lap 1. All right,
you got a lap in.
So that'll restack the field, realign it. But still, Brewer's still out front. Fleming to the outside.
Hats off to our officials, because even though it took 4 attempts, we could all agree that those first 3 tries were not sufficient for how the start of a race should look like. And I appreciate them and everyone here being able to stick to their standards. And it looks like it's going to take both J.B. Cole and Randy Smith, pictured left to right on your screen, in order to try to figure out this lineup here. So they're going to stop the field on the front straightaway, and they may have to rattle off these positions here one by one, since we do have 1 lap complete.
Do we go to single? I think that would not be good to go that. Here we go. So there goes your leader. Looking down, looked like he kind of crossed them up. We'll see what happens here. Fleming being held.
Similar to what we saw with Justin Taylor in the Sportsman race. Even though that car did not go completely around, they have ruled that Fleming was involved in the incident, even though he kept the car rolling.
Correct.
Boy, when I think back to how upset Chris Fleming was a week ago about the rule in the backup car, I cannot imagine that Chris Fleming is going to be too happy about this one as well.
Well, he couldn't maintain side by side for the initial restarts. That's plural. Wow, this jumbles up the entire lineup we have on our sheet in front of us. Make a paper airplane of it, light it on fire, throw it out.
I did see a little bit of front nerve bar damage there on Jeremy Gerstner's car, and want to give a quick shout out to Jeremy's young son JT. This is probably the only time that I've ever seen Jeremy at the racetrack without JT with him. Reason is JT is prepping up for surgery he's going to have early next week. Jeremy's coming back to this region for a race on Wednesday. He said he hates the fact he's got to walk away from JT while he's going to be recovering from that, but we want to wish him nothing but the best. One of the nicest young kids you will ever meet in the pit area. Comes from a great family. We mentioned they travel great distances from Florida. Jeremy's going back home, I believe either tonight or tomorrow morning. Going to spend some time doing some work, spend some time with the family, and then kind of do a quick 24-hour trip for his race on Wednesday before spending some quality time with the family in order to ensure that JT heals up. And JT, we're thinking about you. We'll miss you at the racetrack not only today, but Wednesday as well. Can't wait to see you back, buddy.
The thing about Jeremy, the first couple times I met him, he talks to you like he's known you forever.
Yeah. And
you're like, have I met you before? And you don't question it, but he's just one of those friendly guys and a good family. And, he's dedicated as he races here. He races other series as well. And he just takes part in all kinds of racing up here. And he's a good person.
Yeah, and he loves this part of the country. And, we've posed the questions many a time. Why come all the way from Florida to partake in racing here when there's plenty of things to do down there? And he says there's nothing like it. There's nothing like the Madhouse. There's nothing like this part of the country. And perhaps maybe even exploring the opportunity of setting up shop here at some point in the not too distant future is the Gerstner family. So
I've heard a couple other people have come to the Carolinas and done that, started race teams.
Yeah.
Popular.
And he would be a great person to do it for sure. And he and Tim Brown both survived the contact, as we now have Zach Brewer out in front. We are going to see the one to go signal this time.
No cone, single file style restart. I don't recall ever seeing this happen 1 lap into a race.
Yeah, it's been a rough go so far this season. I know Matthew Dunda loves seeing the choose cones out there, but evidently when they run these short 25-lap bursts for the sake of time, they elect to kind of cater to go the other way. But we'll see if these drivers up front are still going to do their best to add a little bit of spark to this flame. Pace car is off. Tim, let's try it one more time.
Oh, thanks. There we go. Zach Brewer once again maintaining the lead. John Holland in the number 69 will go second. Here we go. The green flag flies, and we are back to racing. Let's see how this unfolds with a single file restart. Holland already beating on Brewers. They go through 1 and 2.
They almost didn't make it to 1 and 2 again. All right, Brewers got the lead. Holloman second. Beeson having a great night in third spot. Slides off the corner while Holloman tries to close back up here on Brewer, who runs way wide in 1 and 2, and he's got a problem. Brewer's off the pace. Big crash off the corner.
Yeah, and he gets spun there. He was off the pace. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars turned around there on the backstretch here at Bowman Gray.
Beeson's night appears to have come to a premature end after running so well up there in the top 3. Had nowhere to go. We talked about the work that the Hillbilly Motorsports team did on that car, and it looked like something broke. Beeson's going to drive away, and Dean Ward has also found the wall.
Yeah, the window net coming down on that. He knows he's up in the wall. So, and Beeson, the left front went down that. He's going to limp it into the pit area. Hopefully get a tire on there real quick and get back out here. But the 79 of Brewer, yeah, something definitely happened in the middle of turns 1 and 2.
Boy, when you have the leader have a problem in a field of this nature, this massive, it's hard for anybody to be able to find a way to avoid. Let's go to the Flow Racing replay. See that car wash way up the hill, and then right here, it's just like it loses power. And Holloman's got no choice but to run through him.
Yeah, and right there, the left front's down on Beeson, and you see Brewer comes to the stop right there. Yeah, like right about there, it just seemed to like lose power.
You can see the rear tires really stop moving forward. You can almost read the Goodyear on them as they came through the corner. And then also after they both kind of spun to opposite sides of the racetrack, point leader Brandon Ward coming into the night and Randy Butner almost tangled while coming through. Let's watch it one more time. We'll keep an eye on the 44.
Oh, there you go.
That left front suspension
that's more than
is
a tire.
gone.
Yeah, that is, yeah, that's going to take more than a tape to fix that. And right now, we see an ambulance coming out onto the track, tending to the number 12 machine of Dean Ward out of Winston-Salem.
So they're going to check on Dean Ward, who is over there in turn number 2, while the field is now stopped on the main straightaway. And I misspoke. I said Goodyear on the tire. Of course, these are Hoosier tires on these modifieds, but that's not the first slip-up that we've had up here in the booth, so why not start a trend?
No one's keeping track. You're fine. That's 2.
Jeremy Gersner was another car that went around in that crash. He's able to rejoin the field as well. And as the track safety crew attends to Dean Ward, we have to hit the pause button on this race once more. Holloman out front. Unofficially, we're showing Jonathan Brown in second spot because of all the carnage that took place. A couple of key players who were either swept up in that wreck or had to find their way through it were moving their way further forward.
It's amazing. The first race went off pretty good. And here we're just, there's fluid on the track here. We can see the number 37. He's got some fluid there on the front straightaway as we're looking down. He's going to take that off into the grass. Or actually, the football field. It will be in a few months.
Don't know if the officials are going to like that all too much, but with the situation going on in turn 2, that's definitely the right thing to do at this time. For Speedy to drive off. And Justin Mincy was pointing out to us, Daniel Beeson, we thought he was done with all that suspension damage potentially. He's rolled that car back out here, as has our pole sitter, Zach Brewer. So, unfortunately, Dean Ward, who the safety crew is still working with there over in turn number 2, maybe the only car that is unable to continue after the stack up there. Again, it's still really early in this race.
We have the tow truck out there.
Or is that Dan Speeney had the radiator blow on that car. Remember, he was involved in the first stack up down in turn number 1 on one of the many attempts to try to get the race restarted. And as you can see there, Dean Ward's car is on the hook. And the word that we got is that Dean is in fact okay. He did climb from the car, but was tending to his left arm. So the good news is he is in fact okay, was able to get out of the car. They're going to have to take a look at Dean, and we want to send him our best wishes. You never want to see a driver, and you don't quite often see a driver have to require medical assistance, but they've got a great crew here from top to bottom, and Dean is definitely in good hands, and we hope to see him back at the racetrack here very, very soon.
Well, like I said, you know, they're here for a reason. Better be safe than sorry. And hopefully it's something not all that bad, but you got to make sure you check those things out. So now the officials are like, here's the lineup, here we go. And the fluid on the front stretch, I'm not sure what it is. If it's a radiator that did go, then we know what the fluid out of that. We'll get some speedy dry on that probably real quick. And Hound Dog, the camera guy over there, in turns 1 and 2, give us a good shot. Now we can see from the roof above us here that fluid is right there.
Hound Dog has been working like a dog tonight, as has our entire production team. This has been one of those nights. I used that term earlier in terms of the excitement and energy that I felt was in the building, and the racing action has matched that for sure. As you can see, we've only got 3 laps in the books, and the running order has been completely jumbled. You could drop the 44 out of there after Beeson went to the pit area to get repaired, but we do know that John Holloman IV is the leader, and Jonathan Brown runs second. I was talking to him earlier, kind of getting a feel for what he thought about what happened last week. And they mentioned they still haven't really been able to repair that car just yet. This is still his in-house and his own race vehicle. It was one of the old Blewett cars that he had. Actually didn't know, this is one of the oldest cars in the field. It's a 2003 chassis. And he said they are so confident in how dialed in it was. As I mentioned earlier, they came out for a handful of laps, maybe 7, and they decided to park it for the rest of the night. And he finds himself 1 spot away from what could be another win on the season.
Well, Holloman is coming off the momentum of last week's win, so he being up front is nothing new to him. After last week, like I said, in the 22, right up there, right behind him, with 1 to go here. Hopefully this restart, maybe we can get a couple laps in. We're at lap 3 here, my friend.
Yeah, some of these races have been taking a little bit to get rolling, but I think once we get into rhythm, we'll be fine. Time will tell. How about our point leader, Brandon Ward, right there in 3rd spot. Randy Butner trying to get himself another checkered flag. And 2nd in the points, Jason Myers lurking yet again up to the top 5 amidst all the madness here as we get set for a restart with 22 laps to go. Holloman IV has worked his way to the point. Here we go.
Nice clean restart there. The green flag flies. They go flying off into turn 1 and 2. Holland looking to get a big jump there, but he's going to get chased down there. Ward, he's running 3rd. No great gain there in 2nd place. Let's see how far or how long Holloman can hold off the rest of the field.
Holloman washed up a little bit there in 3 and 4. It allowed Brown to score it a little bit closer to him there, and does it again in the middle of the corner. It seems like when Brown gets back to the throttle in the middle of the turn, that's where he's able to gain up a little bit on Holloman IV. But so far, Holloman's been pulling him off the corner.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, all 5 all running together. No real gain on positions, and after they want to get a long run going here, as we see Burt Myers there in the number 1 leading that pack through there. No great gain, and Brown runs 2 behind him.
Everybody pretty much running where they restarted at this time. You see the double box here. We're watching our race 1 winner on the afternoon on the right-hand side of your screen. Burt Myers, he's climbing his way up the running order. 1 spot out of the top 5 behind brother Jason for the time being, with Junior Snow closing in on him. Then it's Tim Brown and company, while the top 2 race their way into 3.
Holloman shows the way like he has since the restart. It's good to see him trying to have those good runs like we were talking about. Momentum. Everything's about momentum. You win 1 week, you want to go back out, you want to win the next week as well.
And it was in the 2nd feature event last week that Holloman was able to go on to victory lane. So we are in the 2nd feature event tonight. And so far, everything appears to be going according to plan, while the fight for the top 10 positions continue to build and rage just a little bit, and the race for the lead is starting to intensify.
Jonathan Brown starting to reel in, getting a little more track position on with 15 laps to go here at Bowman Gray Stadium in this modified feature event, the 2nd one of the night here.
Field may shortly be coming up on the back of the number 99 of William Smith, as he is on the same straightaway as your top 2. Holloman continues to pace the field. Brown holding a tighter line. There's a warning shot.
A warning or a hint of things to come? Like, hey, you keep giving me this time, I'm going to get it. Because, you know, Bowman Gray, you know, one of the best ways to pass is using that chrome horn.
This is starting to allow Brandon Ward to creep closer up to these top 2 as Brown sails it in deep yet again, trying to get around Holloman for the top spot. Smith is going to yield on the front straightaway. Holloman clears him on the 1st corner. Brown gets trapped up top. A little bit of contact there, left rear to right front, and they survive it for now.
Now let's see if Brown can mount another challenge here. We're in lap 13. And if he can mount a challenge on him, he is going to try to take advantage of it. He's getting shown a little bit of the inside. He's right back up there, beating on that back bumper of Holloman.
Brown driving in the corner a little bit harder, able to get to him in the center. Holloman pulls him off. 10 to go. Laps clicking off now quickly, now that we're in a bit of a rhythm, but we may not be done yet.
Telling you what, Brown's going to get him someplace here. Holloman knows that he needs to find the best way around this track and to keep Brown at bay. But look who's running 3rd right there. our points leader, Brandon Brown, if you guys want to do something dumb or get into it, I'm going to be right there to take advantage.
One of the strategies of being able to defend your spot here at the Madhouse is to back up the center of the corner, almost come to a complete stop if you have to. Let the car behind hit you. They're not going to be able to beat you off the corner, and that appears to be what Holloman's trying to do here. But for how long will that strategy work as Brandon Ward has entered your frame?
Brandon Ward now running third. He's trying to see if he can get up to second place. Like we said, Brown is trying to get up to first. Now there seems to be some distance between them, because before they were running nose to tail.
The rest of the field starting to charge their way up further forward. Randy Butler and Jason Myers going at it for Ward's spot behind the top three. Again, Holloman falls back to the front dirt bar of Brown, but no changes from position. But Brandon Ward's car looks really strong at this point. Is there enough time? It will be 5 laps to go when they get back to the line.
You've got 5 laps to decide who's going to be the leader, who's going to... Oh, look at that. He got him crossing his wheels up on that one. And look who takes advantage while those two are making contact and losing some of the momentum through the turns. Here comes third place and your point leader, Brandon Ward.
Each and every lap, the hits are going to get harder. Each and every lap, the desire to make the move is going to grow. And right now, Brown has Holloman sideways in the corner. He's in the grass trying to take the lead.
And he does as they go in there. Oh, now they make contact. Oh, look at that. Holloman goes around after making contact. Stacks up behind him. Oh, the mayhem at the Madhouse. Look at this. Now his front wheels are up off the ground as they come to a stop in turn 3. What a chain of events that took place as the new leader took it coming out of turn 2.
You saw
oh my.
Jason Myers driving away, Burt Myers driving away. They got caught up in the stack up there. And look at this, Holloman from the lead to now resting atop the left front tire of Junior Snow.
And they're looking right at each other, which is probably the worst thing that you can do. He's going to try to pull out and try to get away from him. He can't. His right rear is flat, mangled back there on the number of Snow on the 51. He can't go anywhere. And look at this. Here comes, oh, he's coming out of the car. Oh, here comes Holloman. Look at all that dirt, grass up there. He's looking at him. You can't get mad at him. He was just a victim of circumstance.
Yeah, it looks like Holloman was explaining to Junior Snow that they were banging dirt bars, and around he went. Holloman doesn't appear to be in all that much of a hurry to work his way over to the pit area, but there is such a cleanup effort required that the field is being stopped on the back straightaway. Holloman, though, walking over towards Jonathan Brown's car. We're going to keep an eye on this one here. After the racing for the lead got a little bit too hot and heavy, and things boiled over. Brown still in the machine. Holloman walking over.
He's cool. He's going about it cool. Let's see if he's going to talk to him. Yeah, I'm sure that, you know. Oh, now he's in the car.
Yeah, that's out of our vantage point at this time. Not quite sure what's going on here. Now the pace car driver is getting out to inspect the circumstances to see what's taking place.
If he hasn't rushed over, I'm assuming they're in there just difference of opinion of what took place out there.
Meanwhile, Brandon Ward is sitting behind this. He's got a front row seat.
Snickering.
You talk about the best seat in the house. I think Brandon Ward's got it right now.
Okay, so that's enough. We're good.
Okay, John.
Yeah, we're good. That's enough time. He just leaves him be. Wow, that turned interesting real quick, didn't it? Jeez.
We said it was going to be a fun one, and so far, there are still a ton of people in the grandstands waiting to see how the rest of this night is going to unfold for reasons like this. This is the most civil disagreement I've seen so far. It looks like...
Nah, maybe not. I think he took something from him there. What did he took something out of the car and he threw it over the hill?
I wonder what just took place there.
There was a little shaking inside the car there, and he just, I don't know what he threw. Now these two are going to talk, like what happened. They're like, hey man, it's cool, I got it. That was fun.
Wow.
You want to go beat up that other guy with me? And they finally got these two separated. Now they need a tow truck because Snow's car can't move.
Yeah, they're trying to hoist Holloman's car off of the top of Junior Snow's left front wheel. They're going to try to push it back now that they got Holloman's car up off in the air.
There you go.
I'm curious, though, as to what may have been done inside of Jonathan Brown's car. What a strange turn of events here for the second 25-lap feature for the Brad's Golf Cars Modifieds here at Bowman Gray Stadium. A night that has been filled with thrills, spills, and so much more.
I was still going to try to drive that away, or is he just trying to see what he can do? And that right rear is mangled.
And we really have to give a shout out to this track crew. And
definitely
coming from Wall Stadium Speedway, where I've seen them clean up many of modified mayhems before, I think they are some of the best in the business. And of course, I'm biased there, but it has been a very hot day here in Winston-Salem. These crew members have been out here doing so much in order to get this venue race ready. And boy, have they been put to the task. Even though the sun is set, it still feels like 82 degrees out there right now. And these workers have not stopped. They haven't even been offered up a break at this point with all that has taken place here so far tonight. All right, let's get a replay as far as what happened. This was for the lead coming out of turn 2. A shot there to Holloman. Brown with the left sides through the grass, trying to get back on the pavement. I think maybe Holloman was trying to get back in line, but
they hooked.
Brown really backed up the corner there that time.
And then Ward was coming through and sent Holloman around, and then the rest. I don't even know if he had anything in his hand. Okay, it looked like he had something to throw there, so I'm glad we were able to clarify that. I don't know what he'd take from him.
Yeah, I know sometimes you can get your hands on some of the electrical components, or as Statman said, the MSD wiring on the front of these cars.
So here's where here's the lead change takes place. Look at Brown way down inside on the grass there. But, you know, you got to use the track you got to use, and he gets almost by him there, but then the left front they hook, and the tires actually stop, and he spins, and here comes Ward. And he takes a hit to the right side of his machine. And as you know, we saw the rest of the field stacks up behind him there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars. Yep, he didn't have anything in his hand. Okay, it's good to know.
How about the replay work by our team here tonight?
Amazing. The eagle eyes. They are the eagle eyes.
In watching the wreck, the more I think about it, the more I feel like that Jonathan Brown tried to back up enough to allow. Well, I'll tell you what, maybe something did go down here. Look at this.
Now what's going on?
It looks like there was, in fact, something done to the inside of the cockpit of that race car. I don't know that Jonathan Brown's going to be able to get this car refired. Now the push truck's backing away. Maybe they were just inspecting to make sure nothing was done. Perhaps a little bit of showmanship by Holloman the fourth then, because that car did refire.
Okay, there you go. Man, all these mysteries and drama going on.
That's an old school tactic. That's some of the stuff that was done back in the old days of modified racing. If you were upset with someone and you could get inside their car, you grabbed whatever wire you could to try to end their day as well.
Kids.
So Jonathan Brown is going to live to fight another day, at least at this point. 3 laps to settle it. Brandon Ward, the point leader. And the key storyline about him, not only his consistency, but the fact that he has yet to visit victory lane so far this season with a team that has obviously been stout. And after all that, Chris Fleming is third.
Unbelievable. The guy that had troubles on the initial restart, now these guys are challenging for positions where they think they should be lined up. And it shows Tim Brown on the scoreboard will be lined up fourth. But the number 5 car, Randy Butner, is maybe challenging for that position. What are we doing here, guys? Pace car brings them to a halt so we can get the correct lineup for the remaining 3 laps of this 25-lap event.
If you like what you're seeing, keep in mind we are off next weekend as far as Bowman Gray is concerned, but 2 weeks from tonight, July 7th, 100 laps for the Brad's Golf Cars Modifieds. I can't imagine doubling the modified action we've seen so far here tonight, but we're going to do it 2 weeks from now. 3 weeks from now, on July 16th, it's the True Lion Federal Credit Union Night of Destruction, presented by Q104.1. Monster truck, car crushing, a demolition derby, and races for all 4 weekly series.
Wait a
in the
minute,
Madhouse.
I'm missing that to go to my 40th class reunion?
Apparently.
Wow.
What was the slogan you used earlier? Backspace delete? That's what you need to do with those plans.
Back in 1982 at Clarence High School outside of Buffalo, we did not have backspace or delete. And Mark Killer, our bruiser, says he was 7. Thank you very much. I call it veteran experience of life. Listen.
One of the few times I feel young in the booth, being born in 1990. I'll take it.
Oh, my gosh.
Jonathan Brown and Brandon Ward. Looks as though, when we talk about Brandon Ward in the championship points picture, we did note earlier when the wreck happened that there was a stack up behind him. Remember, Jason and Burt Myers were running well up inside the top 10. Well, they got swept up where everybody came to a stop. They're no longer in the top 5 for right now. Due to attrition, they're flirting with the top 10. As we see the 1-to-go signal this time by.
Well, there's Tim Brown. He's going to run 4th. It'll be, he's looking for some good points there, possibly. He's had some good top 5, 2nd place, 3rd place finishes, so he's been consistent on the top 5s there. Finished, what, 2nd earlier tonight, finished 2nd last week. So it's not that he can't do it or there's a problem or anything like that. And Jason is now 9th.
All right, so 3 laps to settle it. Jonathan Brown with all the fireworks out in front of Brandon Ward. He's on the gas early. We're back underway, and a great restart for Jonathan Brown.
And the fans are on their feet as they watch this lap tick down. They know these modified guys are going to give everything they can. And there he is out front. Jonathan Brown makes his way through turn 3 and 4, down the front straightaway with 2 laps to go.
Brandon Ward looked as though he started to close up just a little bit. The fight is on for 3rd. Fleming getting a nudge from behind by Tim Brown, who wants to keep the momentum rolling, while the leader, Jonathan Brown, comes to the line. White flag.
And Brown's going to continue that pursuit to try to get 3rd place away from the number 16 of Fleming. Don't know if he has enough to get him there as we come out of turn number 3 and 4. The checkered flag will go. Oh, wait a minute. We have a car stop on the front stretch. But the checkered flag flies. Your winner is the number 22. After all that, Jonathan Brown.
4th win of the season for Jonathan Brown. The oldest car in the field gets the job done. One of the former Blewett machines, and they did not change up much of the paintwork on there, as he still maintains a close relationship with the Blewett family. And Jonathan Brown with the car that comes out of his own stable after the crash last week, able to celebrate in victory lane. We said he was happy with it after just a handful of laps of practice, and he walked the talk for sure.
So you're saying the oldest car in the field got the job done?
Absolutely.
See, so there's something to be about age. Remember that, you guys. So take that.
The thrill of victory and the agony of defeat there. Junior Snow, after being involved in the wreck with John Holloman, came to a stop as they were coming to the checkered flag. Looks as though he's going to need some help getting that car back to the pit area. But it is yet another victory lap for John Boy Jonathan Brown here at the Madhouse.
Jonathan Brown gets career win number 24, which ties him with Melvin Puddin Swisher for 19th overall. Look at that stats just falling out of the sky here.
All the time.
All the time.
When we're dealing with Justin Mincy.
The little dry race board comes overhead. Boom, there you go.
Hard to believe that we have more racing still to come after this one here. The team members come out to grab the checkered flag from Jonathan Brown. This is going to be an interesting one. Jonathan, one of the nicest, most calm and composed people in the modified pit area here. Let's hear what he has to say for after his 4th victory of 2022. We'll throw it down trackside to Randy Pettit.
He started out as a little boy in Southside, coming to the Bowman Gray races. He can almost walk here. He lives so close by. And he's ran almost everything that we have here at the Madhouse. And he is now verifiable, one of the stars of the Browns Golf Cars Modifieds, getting his 4th victory of the season. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is. Win number 24 at Bowman Gray Stadium, Jonathan Brown. Well, I guess the $64,000 question, lap 22, Superman's out front, and here you go down into the south turn, had a good head of steam, and you brought it home tonight. What happened on those last couple of laps?
Well, first I got to thank God for getting me here. Like I've told everybody, without him, I'm nothing. Same with all of y'all. I got to thank all this crew, too. I'll talk about lap 22 for a second. We were faster. It took me a couple laps to get going there. And John's bumper, his Nerf bar was not loose from his bumper, so every time I bumped him, his rear bumper hooked to my front bumper, so I knew I had to time it just right there. I didn't want to hook him, spin him coming up off the corner, which I could, had any lap I wanted to, but I don't race that way, so I tried to square him up, push him out, get under him. My left side was all in the grass, and you know, he said it himself last week. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. This is Saturday night short track racing at the Madhouse, and you know, it wasn't on the racing on my end. It's just tough, hard racing, man. That's all I can say about it. But he did grab the key and throw it out of my car there. I guess he wanted the key to mine since it's faster than his, but it's all good. Let me thank these sponsors. I got to thank my buddy Joe Tilley right here at Walkertown Pond and Gun, Grillville, Eric Messer Photography, Amerifast Supply Company. Let me stand back here. Wake Tree Service, L&R Transmissions, Velocita RE, my man Tim at Bill Steen. This is 4 wins for us this year with him. Man, it's nice to bring this car back to Bigger Lane too, but my buddy Joe, Lee Plumbing, Johnny with JTV, Burke Street Pub, Tiffany with Tea Time, Twin City Synthetics, my man Mark Joyce. I really hope I'm not forgetting anybody, but just thank God, man, for a good, safe race, all the blessings he's given me. I wish my family could be here with me. And I got to thank this crew. I was at the beach all week, living it up, and these guys got this car ready. I never turned a bolt on it at all whatsoever, so thank you to this crew and all you fans and everybody that supports me.
The red, white, and blue, Jonathan Brown, parked in the Carolina Woodforce Winter Circle once again here at the Madhouse.
Well, we've still got more racing action to come. Stadium stocks are on deck. We've got that and a skid race still on the docket before we close out our night here at the Madhouse. We'll be right back with more racing here at Bowman Gray.
All right, race fans, who's ready for some stadium stock racing?
They'll go for 15 laps, 24 competitors. They drew from their starting positions. This is how they'll roll off. Starting 24th in shotgun on the field. He has 5 wins thus far this season. He is your points leader. From Knoxville, the car number 24, A.J. Sanders.
Winston-Salem, North Carolina is a city with a rich history of reinventing itself. Here you can wine and dine back in time, or raise a glass to the future. Witness history in the making, or savor the present moment. That's why you'll love visiting Winston-Salem. Our past is present, our future is bright, and our city is yours to explore. Look forward. Travel back to Winston-Salem.
And the car number 75 from Thomasville.
Back here at the Madhouse, Bowman Gray Stadium in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. It is time for the Q104.1 Stadium Stock Series. Many a times they get 2 races on the slate. Tonight they're running only one 15-lapper. And we will close out tonight's on-track activities with a skid race here on what has been a night full of sparks and fireworks in more ways than one. And we've still got more action here to come. As victory lane ceremonies wrap up for Jonathan Brown, Tim Packman, this has been a memorable one for sure.
Oh, we're not done yet. Because these stadium stocks that are lined up next, they always put on one heck of a show, exciting as could be. And the fact they only have one feature tonight, oh yeah, they got to put everything into this to get their points.
24 cars so far showed on the entry blank, and the most dominant driver in the field will be tailing up this pack. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the Q104.1 Stadium Stocks. On the pole, 3rd in points out of King, North Carolina, car 69 of Brandon Krotz. Outside the number 51 of Andrew Cate out of Tobaccoville, North Carolina. Steven Sanders in car 8 will line up inside of row number 2, alongside Levi Holt back in his own car this weekend, starting 4th.
A driver to watch, and then number 43 always puts on a good show. That is Brandon Brendel. Outside of him, the number 27 of Austin Gates. 05, that is Victor Flores. And the number 71, that is Dylan Freeman.
Back now into the inside of row number 5, Joel Stewart in the 7 car. Will have to drop to the rear. Outside, Patrick Mullen cut his teeth at Wall Stadium Speedway. Former NASCAR crew member looking for his first stadium stock win in 10. DJ Dean will roll off the 33 and 11 spot. Outside of row 6, number 48 of Junior Snow.
Starting 13th from Lexington, North Carolina, that's number 16 of Blaine Curry. And the number 81 of Chuck Wall out of Lexington, starting to his outside. Next row, Wyatt Sapp out of Moxville, and number 46. And the number 54, Justin Owens out of Walnut Cove.
Inside of row number 9, car 31, Kyler Staley out of Lexington, North Carolina. Matt Alley alongside of car 74 out of Walnut Cove in 18th. Kenny Dixon will start car 40 in the 19th spot, and outside of row number 10, Isaiah Dean in car number 75 and 20th.
And rounding out your field, the number 03 starting 21st, It'll be Cody Gum out of Lexington, Matt Goodwin, and the number 25. And the final row, the number 14 of Ken Bridges from King, North Carolina, and A.J. Sanders, the number 24, always here to put on a show.
We mentioned so many of the stats that Statman has been able to pass along to us so far here tonight. We talked about all as the one-to-go signal is coming out here for the stadium stocks that Amber Lynn was racing for earlier tonight. How about our points leader in A.J. Sanders? He's trying to match his season-high win total at 6, and he's done that 3 times prior, 2012, 2014, 2015. Let's see if he can do it from the back of the field in just 15 laps time.
There's going to be 2 races in one. There's going to be A.J. Sanders running in the number 24, working his way to the front, and what's ever going to be happening up front. I'm telling you, folks, this one's going to be worth watching.
So the final regular season race of the night, skid race still to follow, and it's Brandon Krotz and Andrew Cates slated to bring us down for the start. 15 laps for the Q104.1 Stadium stocks.
Here we go, green flag. The starter says that's good. Let's roll. Here they are, they're 3 wide. The 05 of Flores dropping like a rock through the field, trying to get to the outside. Sparks out of the number 31. We're looking at the screen there, and it is the number 22. Side by side, trying to get those positions, and here we go. Boy, these guys are making it work on lap number 1 already.
There's a lot of moving and shaking going on all throughout this field. I can't believe we made a lap, but not anymore. Big pile up in turn 2. Several cars involved.
Wow, and guess who made his way through and just picked up 6 positions? A.J. Staley. Look at that mess right there.
There was a lot of body work hanging off those 3 cars down there in turn number 1. Trying to get a positive ID on a couple of those cars.
Well, it looks like the one guy's doors ripped off, so we don't have a number.
So Kenny Dixon is involved. Kyler Staley in the crash as well. That was a wreck that could have took out about half the field there after the caution flag came out. The 51 is going to be able to drive away, try to rejoin the field after getting pushed into that crash.
2 of them were stuck together, the number 31 and the number 40. And now the push side by side separates them. But boy, look at that damage there. 31, that whole left side was opened up like a can opener went through it. Oh yeah, that you can't race like that.
Wow. So Andrew Cates, who started on the outside of the front row, gets turned in front of the pack. Everybody barrels in. And it looks like the first bit of contact was Staley to the back of Cates. And then it was another car, I believe that was, may have been the 40 of Dixon that got shoved in there. That ripped open the left side of Staley's car.
Yeah, the 40 gets in there. He rips off the side. The 51 and the 48 comes to a stop. The 12 goes around to the outside, as does the 24 of Staley. And like I just said, he picked up about 5-6 positions with that incident right there. Hound Dog, that's Hound Dog showing us here. Yep, you can see heavy contact there as those guys got together.
And at that point, most of the field behind him committed to it. Let's watch A.J. Sanders, the blue car behind the yellow machine of Cody Gum. You mentioned how he got through this wreck. It looks like it's about to be impossible. Chaos ensues in front of him. Look at him get off the... He slowed down so quickly. Did get into the back there of the 03 a little bit, but gave himself enough room to get all 4 wheels off into the grass to drive through the pileup.
He was saying, beep, beep, gotta go.
There you see the number 31 of Kyler Staley in the pit area. Not sure how much duct tape is going to be able to fix that problem.
Oh, you're going Sawzall there, buddy. That's beyond duct tape. You're going Sawzall. You're just cutting and gutting, and that's all you're doing right there.
May not be able to identify the number on that car from the left side, but through process of elimination, we'll figure it out. Although at the night we've had, I wouldn't be surprised if there's more than one of these cars that look like this before the night is over, and Staley is going to rejoin this race.
Yep, as we talked about, as a result of that incident, A.J. Sanders, your point leader, has moved up to 8th position. Wow.
In just 2 laps time. Incredible.
From 24th. He was picking up quite a few positions on his own there as Lance back there, but now he had that, took advantage of that. So is it possible he could pull this off? We'll find out.
See him running right there behind that of Patrick Mullen. Patrick has done some pretty significant work to his stadium stock program. Got a beautiful looking car here tonight, car number 39. As you mentioned, looking for an opportunity to lay claim to his first stadium stock victories for the second year before. See if tonight may be the night. As we are getting set for a restart, Brandon Krotz out in front of the field. Steven Sanders moved up to second. Brandon Brendel third. And here we go, back underway with check that, with 13 laps to go.
There you go. I said earlier, keep an eye on the number 43 of Brendel. Puts on a great show, is a hard runner. Right there goes, takes advantage of the restart, puts himself in second, chasing down Krotz as they go into turns number 3 and 4.
Brendel's got himself up to second, looking for more as they come out of the corner. And we are watching the continued progress of A.J. Sanders on the right-hand side of your screen as Brendel looks to the inside for the lead off 2.
And they're side by side for third and fourth. Oh my gosh, look at this up the lead. I told you, there goes Brendel right there in the lead, but is he going to keep it? Yes, he is. He makes his way through and powers away from Krotz.
Krotz trying to force himself up back in there. He will cement the lead. Look at this fight for third on back. All the contact in the world going on as Austin Cates is trying to hang on.
The number 8 getting pushed out there to the outside. The worst, the non-preferred line here at Bowman Gray.
Chuck Wall trying to come through. A little bit of a hip check there. Sanders going to get boxed in behind the slower car.
That number 40 way off the pace. Lap traffic. In lap number 5, you're already getting lapped. You know you're way off the pace.
The 40 is going to move aside. That's Kenny Dixon, who has fallen a lap down. Meanwhile, the leader's in traffic on the left-hand side of your screen. And Sanders is now moving his way further up through the running order. As things stand, he is up to 4th.
My gosh, what a run, what a run. And all this, look at all this lap traffic. They have to make their way around. That is definitely going to be something to factor in here as he tries to gain more positions. Right now, he's running 4th. No lap traffic. Looks like, let's say, the next 3 or 4 laps.
In front of him, the number 16 car. Behind him, Chuck Wall, the number 81, trying to move further up through the pack. But they're going to need some help if they want to catch Brandon Brendel, who is starting to break free.
Like I said, Brendel is one to watch, and he gets out there. But still, we're watching this middle of the pack here. And the number 8 car and the 46 trying to gain position on that number 27 as they make their way into turn 3 and 4.
Boy, poor Austin Cates has been getting moved aside lap after lap after lap so far and continues to fall down to the bottom portion of the top 10. Here comes Patrick Mullen up the inside trying to follow the 54. Justin Owens through. All the while, here is Sanders, now trying to get 3rd away from one of the winners of the season, and Blaine Curry, who tries to use the lap car as a pick.
As he should. That's a great move by Curry there, keeping Sanders down there. But look at this. Here comes Wall to the inside. He's like, I'll take advantage of this. Now they make their way around the lap traffic, sets his sights on the driver in front of him. That's Sanders.
At the line here for Brendel, 4 laps to go. Curry holds on to 3rd for the time being. Krotz is in this picture as well, holding down 2nd, while Brendel's about a half straightaway ahead. Lap cars all over the place in front of your leader, while the battle for 2nd comes off 4.
2nd, 3rd, and 4th are still slugging it out there. Sanders looking for some racing room around the 2 guys in front of him. He is not going to get what he's looking for. So what's he going to do? He's going to lay on that back bumper to see if he can move someone out of the way.
Brendel's going to come through here to the 2 to go signal. 2 laps to settle it. Brendel's got a comfortable lead, and the field is going to arrive on the scene of a spin in turn number 2. You saw Brendel have to avoid, and the caution flag will wave and tighten up this field after the 48 has gone around the 2nd corner.
It'll be Junior Smith out of Lexington, North Carolina. So that'll bring out the caution. Lap 13. Oh, me oh my. Here we go. The good thing about this is, for the leaders, this gets the lap traffic out of the way.
I think we got some fireworks here. Sorry there, Tim, but that 48 is definitely going after the 03. Looks like there's a bit of a team effort going on here. That 48 is not happy.
Look at that.
Oh
my gosh, he goes right.
The car.
Tore the left side off it. Holy schmoly. Now he's not going to take that too well. His air conditioning just picked up pretty good. Now he's coming around. Wow. Can he get to him? That car, it took a hit. That was not called for to do something like that.
At this point, what more does Cody Gum have to lose? The whole left side of that car is
the right side
gone.
Get him, make a night of it, you know? Make the highlight reel, which he's done. Look at this. Yeah, that left rear, the quarter panel's up in front of the left tire. Yeah, that body is just kind of hanging on there. Does he risk causing more damage to his car? He can't race like that. That's on his tire.
Looks as though Cody Gum is willing to accept his fate at this time. We'll see if that car is going to make it back to the pit area here. I think you would have to say he would have to. Stopping here, perhaps, to have the official take a look at it. Looks like they are possibly giving him the thumbs up to continue on. That left front does not look healthy.
But look, he's going to have a massive tire up there with the sheet metal on the left rear.
noticed how quickly Junior Smith wanted to get back underway. Nearly drove right in front of the 03 of Cody Gum and then chased him down and almost used him as a launch ramp.
Here we go.
So this, I believe this was after the spin, the 31 of Kyler Staley getting in the fold.
Yep. He just goes and runs right up over him.
And liftoff.
You know what? For a low-budget division, they are making it much more costly by actions like that.
I have no idea how that 03 is still on the racetrack. And we're going to have what should be a one-lap shootout. Brandon Brendel and Brandon Krotz, your top two. Winner on the season, Blaine Curry running in third. The dominator of the stadium stocks this season, A.J. Sanders fourth. Chuck Wall, your top five.
Well, here we go. They're going to go coursing the way through turns 3 and 4. Nice, steady pace. So far, looking good. Your starter says, that looks good to me. Let's put that green flag and the white flag up. So here it goes. Brendel's going to just need to make it around the track one more time.
Brandon Brendel came into the ninth, second in points with 2 wins under his belt. He is going to come through 3 and 4 while the fight for second continues. Brandon Brendel is going to grab win number 3 on the season.
What a start he had. Look at this, second, third, fourth, and fifth. Throw a blanket on them as they come across. And the number, and the yellow car, the number 03, makes it through with the left side just hanging on by a bolt.
That's pretty impressive, and as luck would have it, pulling in right behind the 48 of Junior Smith, and it looks as though there is no anticipation to try to continue the extracurricular activity between those two.
Hold on, the window net's down on the number 31 already. Let's see if something's going to develop there. Oh, looks like they're all making their way off the track.
Meanwhile, the Brandon Brendel supporters start to line the fences to celebrate yet another victory on the season for this driver. It's been a while, though. However, it's been about 4 weeks since Brendel was last in victory lane on nights where he was still running 2 stadium stock features. This one, he bested the entire field and is celebrating with another victory lap here at the Madhouse. And I'll give credit where credit is due. Tim Packman, you called it. You said, watch that 43. He's always a threat to win at these races, and it did not take him long to get up towards the front of the pack.
That's career number 22 for Brendel, and which puts him 6th all-time on the charts here. So I called that. I called the other thing earlier, and you know what? I'm not going to get out of here in time to go pick lotto numbers tonight. So it's probably better off.
It has been your night, though, between Burt Myers, between you know, who's going to choose the outside, the Sportsman 100.
Was that going to get me a cookie or something? Well, I've got some donuts back there.
Oh, you wanted a cookie. How about some donuts?
There you go. On Sundays, I like a good donut on Sunday, yeah. Only the other week. He says, the heck with this traffic jam. I'm going to bring this back around.
Fortunately, here on the East Coast, it's not Sunday just yet. We're still about an hour and 9 minutes away from that. But you would think this night has gone on forever. And Brandon Brendel's going to pull into victory lane, driver's side, facing the crowd. And once he comes to a stop here, they will unleash the fan club.
Whoa, look at
rush
that.
to congratulate him on yet another win. That is what it's all about. All right, let's head trackside and hear from our winner, Brandon Brendel.
Brandon Brendel picking up his 3rd victory of the season. Brandon, congratulations. Your 3rd victory of the season. Your 2nd in the Q104.1 Stadium Stock points. AJ was creeping up on you, but you made a little bit of a dent in the points. How does it feel?
It feels good. We've had a really fast car all year, just no luck in the draw. Hopefully this is a turning point. I want to thank Todd Barnhart and his wife for giving me the opportunity to drive their car. Kevin and Lori Neal with Lindley M Plumbing, Infinity Insurance Group, also Todd. Without them, it wouldn't be possible. Oh, and my smoking hot old lady. I got to thank her.
There he is, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give him a hand. Brandon Brendel picks up his 3rd win of the season. He'll make a trip over to the Carolina Wood Floors Winner's Circle. Open your doors to beautiful wood floors at Carolina Wood Floors.
So Brandon Brendel grabbing yet another Q1041 Stadium Stock event. And we are not done yet. Just when you think things could not get any more wild, we have a heavily populated field for this upcoming skid race here.
But the good news is this is supposed to be wild. This is planned mayhem. These are front-wheel drive cars. They have skid plates on the back tires, and you will see when they get going here, sparks aplenty when we get going here.
Yeah, you would think back in the day when we used to watch stock car racing, say at Darlington, the line usually would be quite literally up against and into the guardrail. One would think, why don't you just do that around here? But as our producer Mark reminds us in the ear, you can't. It's against the rules to be able to just rim ride these things along the fence because they're going to want to have the back end step out on them. It's up to them to be able to use both pedals as well as the steering wheel to figure out a way to keep them cornering the way they need to stay in front of the competition.
Well, should we give them the lineup here real quick?
Sure.
All right, let's do it. On the pole position, the number 30, that is Gray Hackett. In the Days of Thunder lookalike, that is Kevin Thomas. Starting third in the number 70, that's Corey Wyatt. And in the 08, that is Brandon Porter.
Car number 18, the silver 18 of the field. Starting in fifth spot, Tom Casava. On the outside in car number 3, scheduled to start on the outside in car number 3, is Van Swain. Inside in car number 73 will be that of Andrew Connor in 7th position. Outside will be that of Adam Moore in the 12.
Starting the number 31, that'll be Kyle Staley. And if you're recognizing some of these names that if you heard earlier tonight, because these guys have raced in other divisions and they're out here just having a little bit of fun, such is the case with number 28, then Nate Gregg. He'll be in that machine. Number 7 is Chris Allison. The 01 is Justin Lowe's. And rounding out your field, the number 27 is Evan Renzo.
So a little bit different from what we've seen all night long. This race will start in a standing pace. The chief starter will wave the green flag, and the race will just begin, just like that. This race is going to be 6 laps in total length. Sounds like it's not a lot, but it does take a lot in order to get this race in 6 laps. We mentioned
the skid plate race is for 6 laps.
Oh, all right. Well, we will see. We believe it's 6 laps. We'll confirm that in a moment. We have had a skid race here so far this season. The winner in that one, Adam Moore. The only skid race that we have run so far in 2022. And he's going to be starting in 8th spot in car 12, or at least scheduled to start in 8th position in car 12.
Did we gain some cars here?
They certainly jumbled things up a little bit for us.
That's
There's
okay.
the 12 moving as well.
All right, there we go.
Picture here.
So did you watch the chain race a few weeks ago and the end result?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it made highlight reels all over. YouTube sensation race. I wonder if we're going to get some of that same action here. You know what? I'm going to be surprised. After everything we've seen tonight here at Bowman Gray, wouldn't be surprised at all.
Well, here comes the countdown. It is 3, 2, 1. We are green for the skid race, and look at the launch that 70 got. Timed it perfectly to Corey Wyatt, but can he make the corner?
Look at this. Oh, there we go. Yep, facing the wrong way there. You better let the field go by before you try to loop it around there, Kavanaugh.
Oh,
there we go. We're already up, and we got 4 up in the
turn
wall.
number 2, cars everywhere, and the kids are loving it.
Of course they are.
Oh, trying to see who some of these cars are. There's our leaders. The great start from the inside of that second row by the 70 of Corey Wyatt. Didn't think he was going to make the corner. He is flying down the main straightaway.
Like he's been practicing in a Walmart parking lot or something.
I wouldn't rule it out.
Well, no, with these guys, nothing surprises me.
Kevin.
I mean, look at that. He goes up against the wall there. Just a little touch. You can't lean it up in there. I get it.
That's Kevin Thomas running in 2nd spot. Here is what I think is the race for 3rd. There's our skid plate race winner in the 12. Adam Moore trying to move up from 8th spot, getting around the 01.
Boy, that 12, yeah, they're starting to move a little bit now. A little bit. Oh, someone lost their skid.
Oh my, oh, we got a car perpendicular into the wall. Now we got a roadblock on the back straightaway, and the leader gets tagged in a crash down in the first corner, holds the lead. Here comes the 46 of Thomas.
Lean right on him, Thomas. He's going, he wasn't there to lean on. Oh man, he loses it. Look at these guys. These guys are just ripping down the track here. I don't know who came up with this. Your leader, he's got to fight it. He threads the needle. Makes it through. Look at that car's not going anywhere there in the backstretch.
Just when you think something's going to jump out and grab Corey Wyatt, he's able to find his way through. There's your 2nd place runner still in Kevin Thomas.
Yeah, we've got fenders coming off. We've got skid plates coming off. Yeah, that leader, he gets in there. He goes really good down the front straightaway. And then he starts backing it down when he gets in the turn, because otherwise he's going to loop it around there.
At a moment, the 08, I believe, has scored the second spot, but now he's crashed off at turn number 4 as the rest of the pack goes by him. Leader is still working his way gingerly through the carnage.
Yeah, he's trying to figure out what he's going to do here. Oh, there's no carnage in front of him. Oh, we lost another skid plate coming off another car. They will black flag them when that happens.
Unbelievable. We saw sparks falling from the sky earlier tonight, and now we're seeing sparks here all around this quarter-mile racetrack, and nobody at this point has had anything for that 70 who has been on a roll. Corey Wyatt, perhaps en route to a skid race win. And now he's taking his time.
Oh, wait a minute. He's got some competition coming up now. The 46 is running in second, so he's not even in the picture here. But that 70, boy, he has this under control.
Who would have thought navigating lap traffic would be a key to a victory, perhaps?
What's with the antenna? Like, what's he got? What's he listening to?
White flag is in the air. So it is, in fact, going to be a 6-lap feature event. What a start and what a race. Sliding his way through Hound Dog for the final time tonight there in turns 1 and 2. This may be the longest half lap of the night so far, Tim.
I don't know. Let's see. As he makes his way. Look at the action here as they go into turn 1. 3 of them all slideways like that. It's like dirt tracking without the dirt. And a lot of sparks, which makes it pretty cool.
That may have been the battle for a second. And here comes our leader. Just has to make it through the main straightaway once more. And the winner of tonight's skid race is Corey Wyatt.
There you go.
You know, for a skid plate car, that's a nice looking machine.
Yes, it is. It seems to be in pretty good shape. Like he hasn't ever gotten a wreck with it like he's led all the time. Yep. So that'll bring it to a close. Oh wait, we got some other guys. We still gotta get second, third, fourth.
And how about that on the last lap, moving up into the second spot, the only other winner of a skid race this season, Adam Moore. And following a spin on the white flag lap, Kevin Thomas rounds out your top 3.
That 28 car just kind of sat there as like a speed bump all night after going sideways there. Well, I'll tell you what a great way to end this night. I mean, this is just perfect. We had sparks and excitement out there, and now we have them ending up the skid race like this. Yeah.
We've got bumpers all over the place. We've got cars all over the place. We've got people burning down the house out there. A little bit of donuts there from the 31 of Staley after the night he's had. This is what it's all about. The best ticket in motorsports, hands down.
That 70 car, he has like a real paint job on that car. Like, well done.
And now going to have the opportunity to celebrate here. Boy, this may be the longest victory lap if they let this go down.
He's got obstacles all over the place. Yeah, there you go. They're not going to give him. You're good right here, buddy. Just do it right here.
I love hearing from the winners of some of these events, so we're going to take the opportunity to do just that here right now as the winner of our skid race climbs from the car.
And I believe he's going to get a quick word with our winner, Corey Wyatt.
Corey Wyatt, you had a good jump from the start. Never looked back. Looked like it was easy. You tell me.
They're never easy. I've done several of these, though, so it's all right. I'd like to thank my sponsors, Lucky Dog Graphics, Golden Lawn and Landscaping, Andrews Lawn and Landscaping, Nuco Motors, Edwards Barbecue, and then PRA Real Estate with Megan Hilmley.
Congratulations again to Corey Wyatt, the winner of the Midway Mobile Storage Skid Race this evening. We thank you for being with us tonight.
I think, as you said, Tim, that is the perfect way to end this night of racing action. What a night, my friend. The first time we had a chance to work together.
And I want to say something. Absolute honor. I've followed you. I've heard you before, and I was looking forward to it. And an absolute joy. We both come from the state of New York. Me from the left side of Buffalo. You the right side. Down, what is Staten Island? Is that it?
Yeah, sometimes they call it the dark side. Either or.
That's it. But what a great night. A lot of action, a lot of stuff to talk about. And I hope you fans at home were just as thrilled as we were to call this race for you as you were watching it.
We had an amazing production team with us here, as we do each and every week. Fortunately for them, maybe not for them personally, but for us here at the Madhouse. We have an off week coming up next week, so we'll be back in 2 weeks' time. 100 laps for the modifieds presented by Real Rock 105.7. Congratulations to all of our winners here tonight. In street stocks, we had Christian Joyce grab his second win of the season. Burt Myers got his first modified win of the year tonight as well. Michael Adams hit in a spectacular Sportsman 100. It was Jonathan Brown in that also crazy and chaotic second modified feature. And Brandon Brendel wrapped it up for the stadium stocks tonight as well. On behalf of everybody here on Flow Racing and at Bowman Gray Stadium, hats off to our buddy and statistician Justin Mincy. For Tim Packman, I'm Eric Brennan, and we will see you next time here at the Madhouse. Good night, everybody.
Give me a piece. Push the damn car with your back hurting, dang dummy.
Hey, you think your brother let me run chain race next go round? You think he will?
Yeah, get into it. Hey, Tricky. Can you get a piece?
I'm gonna go get something for my back.
Yeah, you can't push a car with it, ding dong.
Hey.
My back.
Can I get a piece of a car? I know, I want